Pero sa inyo. Kaya puro pera naman ako. Hindi ba kumain sila Shalila?
Parang hindi. Parang sa dig lang nandiyan kanina. Hindi ko na.
Kasi sila ba?
Happy birthday pala tayo ulit.
Kumain sila ng ito.
Na? Hindi, parang dyan lang ata din niya. Si Dave nandyan din? Wala ba sa Dave dyan? Tulog din?
Hindi, naglalaro lang sa Dave. Hapon. Kumagay na tutulog. Inigising isa kong kakain at tagalagay ko.
Kanina pa tulog si Princess?
Kanina pa sila tulog ni nanay. Nakita ko tulog. Baka alas 8 pa gigising.
Ano?
Baka alas 8. Pag nag-play. Nakita ni nanay kumuha ang towel na dumilat lang natulog na. Sila?
Si?
Totoong magkapatid ba sila? Magkamukha sila yung sa prison break.
Sino?
Yung sa prison break. Totoong magkapatid sila sa first one.
Hindi ko alam.
Magkamukha sila.
Pinapanood mo rin yung Prison Break?
Ngayon pa lang. Episode 2 pa lang.
Hindi na ako nanood eh. Sa Prison sila nanonood.
Bakit ilang season ba yan?
5 bata?
Ang dami naman pala. Nakakabisis pala ako isa lang.
Pero maganda naman doon.
The objective is updated soon. Get ready. My operator skill is ready. Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint is ours. We've taken the lead. Hardpoint lost. Close. Fight harder. We lost the lead. Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint contested. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is ours. We tied for the lead. Hardpoint contested. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. We've taken the lead. Hardpoint locked down. Enemy Shock RC is coming. Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint lost. Enemy Shock RC has been destroyed. It's out. Enemy UAV spotted. We're almost there. Keep it up. Capture the objective. Hardpoint identified. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Reloading! Cover me! Hardpoint contested. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint lost. Hostiles jamming the radar. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Enemy UAV spotted. Enemy Shock RC spotted. The objective is updated. Enemy Shock RC has been destroyed. Capture the objective. Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint lost. Enemy Shock RC is coming. It's too close. Fight harder. Enemy Shock RC is coming. We lost the lead. Hardpoint is ours. Enemy Shock RC has been destroyed. Enemy Shock RC has been destroyed. Tied for the lead. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. We've taken the lead. Hostiles have the hardpoint. It's too close. Fight harder. Online. We lost the lead. Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint lost. The enemy is jamming our radar. We've taken the lead. Heads up, team. Enemy UAV spotted. Enemy Shock RC coming. Hardpoint contested. Capture the objective. Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint locked down. Enemy Shock RC has been destroyed. Hardpoint. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hostile care package inbound. Slight murder. Enemy shock RC has been destroyed. We lost the lead. Capture the objective. Pick it up, team. Hardpoint locked down. UAV online. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Heads up. Enemy UAV spotted. Counter UAV up. They're blind. Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint lost. Hardpoint locked down. Be advised. Inbound. Enemy shock RC is coming. Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint contested. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint contested. Enemy shock RC has been destroyed. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint lost. Capture the objective. Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint contested. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Capture the objective.
Bangunan Nemo. Bobby.
Defeated.
Pero may pangabay ka na, di ba, Teodin? Ha?
Sinabi ko nga. Meron lahat. Nakaraan pa.
Tsaka panlasa.
Meron lahat. Sinabi ko nga nakatapos na sa 14 days, pates na ako. Kailangan pa rin ba mag-test na rin?
Enemy Shock RC is coming. Friendly Molotov out. Friendly Shock RC has been destroyed. Capture the objective. Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint locked down. Friendly Shock RC is coming. Friendly Shock RC has been destroyed. Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint contested. Friendly hunter killer drone detected. UAV online. Hardpoint contested. Molotov threat. Friendly Shock RC is ready. Hardpoint contested. UAV recon standing by. Repeat, UAV recon is standing by. Capture the objective. Hardpoint identified. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Heads up. Enemy UAV spotted.
Grenade out!
Hostile hunter drone inbound. UAV online. Capture the objective. Hardpoint is ours. Friendly Molotov out. Hardpoint contested. Friendly Shock RC is coming. Enemy Shock RC is coming. Enemy Shock RC is coming. Predator missile inbound. Enemy Shock RC has been destroyed. Predator locked down. Friendly Shock RC has been destroyed. Hardpoint contested. Enemy Shock RC has been destroyed. Friendly Shock RC is coming. Objective almost complete. Keep it up. Friendly Shock RC has been destroyed. Molotov out. Hardpoint contested.
Changing back! Cover me!
Enemy Shock RC is coming.
Target's in sight.
Molotov is ready. Friendly Shock RC is ready. Enemy Shock RC has been destroyed.
this game.
Meanwhile, Hellraisers and Virtus Pro, they just started clashing for all of these runes for a second there, like a lot of 1v1s across the map, and it did end up going the way of Hellraisers in the end, so it's 3 bounty runes to them and only 1 going the way of Virtus Pro to start things off, so starting off with a little bit of gold in their pocket always feels pretty good. I have no idea how this mid-match is going to go between the Puck and the Bristle, so we'll keep an eye on that one, but it seems like the Puck won't really enjoy the constant quills that much, but I guess if he can dodge one and reset the quills, then that's something. But let's focus on our side lanes for now. It looks like Phonic's going to be alone in the 1v1 against Resolution, so that means you've got a bunch of heroes down in the bottom lane, or at least traveling that way, as they're going to have Nyx on the Lycan laning out versus RTW on the Riki. Still currently here with him, and Pushka, he's just trying to kill Eidolons on the side here.
Yeah, this Silence, they're gonna be a bit resident sleeper. Oh, Roger gonna get a courier though. That's gonna be a little bit annoying for no one here. You're talking about mid lane. I think Bristleback doesn't really lose matchups against anything unless he gets completely outplayed in terms of like denies. And if things do go hard for him, he's just gonna go into the mid lane.
Run Pushka down in the bottom lane, being chased by RTW and Solo here with that Stroke of Fate and with the Blink Strikes on the Riki. I mean, he's such an annoying hero to lane against with those early charges and the Blink Strike, but the Coddle is able to get himself away. I thought it was brave not going for Blinding Light into a Riki, but it seems to have worked out for him in the end, using this Illuminate, which is becoming more and more popular as we go.
Yeah, people just want to sort of push the lane out and then just spam pulls because you want a lot of experience. Like, you got Keeper and Lycan. This lane isn't going to be killing anyone, right? It's more of like a core pressure farm.
Resolution, once again, being dropped really low here, but also gets a salve off in the end. I keep interrupting you for almost kills, but there is a lot of action going along on the map right now as everyone's just kind of brawling to start this one off. Just as we expect from a CIS versus CIS elimination match. I mean, it really is on the line for these two teams.
Oh, for sure. And the Bounty Hunter also fighting off against the Enigma. It's like literally this, everybody just matched up against one another. If there is a first blood that's going to break out, it's most likely going to be with the Gripstroke Inswell on the Riki, killing off the Keeper of the Light. Because the Keeper of the Light, without the Blinding Light, he's not going to be able to push off this Riki when he jumps on top of it. So it's going to be a little bit scary since Keeper has extremely low armor, low HP.
Yeah, and the trade-off for that is, you're going to get more wolves, you're going to get some Illuminate damage to come out as well, so we'll see if it's worth it. I mean, just stealing that big creep is definitely feeling pretty good from a post there as he takes Mr. Tomato Man down with the Illuminate. Nice timing on that one. RTW can all but stew over here as he makes these pulls happen.
Yeah, look at Zayak. This man just ran all the way across the map to try to get to a point where he can actually farm, but then Roger just following him around with that Shadow Walk. He doesn't even get the Janata for the gold steal. He just wants to be able to pressure this Enigma and steal his experience. And look how much XP he's already stolen. He's got 150 on the Bounty Hunter, which you pretty much picked up from the Enigma. Oh, there it is.
Down the bottom lane, they will find that kill. That combination coming in with the level 2 there. I mean, that is always going to be a huge threat. And again, Pushka doesn't have the Blinding Light, has no way to get them off. And so when he gets caught out like that, it's just a really simple kill for Virtus Pro. And, you know, I mean, I think the evidence was kind of suggesting that we should have maybe seen a point in Blinding Light, but we'll see what use they can make out of this Illuminate instead.
Yeah, and now that the Keeper has died once, it's going to be really scary.
So much damage onto Nyx here.
Oh yeah, right. And the wolves are gonna make the Stroke of Fate do more damage as well.
Yeah, they're gonna go. Oh, Nyx, he's gonna be the target, and he's just gonna straight up die here. There's nothing they can do about this. But LTW also getting low, has to Blink Strike himself to the range crew, which might have just bought him the space he needs to survive this one. Meanwhile, over towards the middle, we got a lot of on right now in the mid lane. Kasani, he's okay. He's Bounty Hunter sitting on top of Zayat as per usual. Yeah, as you say, everyone's just brawling. It's just 1v1s across the map, except in this bottom lane where we've had a bit more brawling going down, and they've had to salve up RTW, but Pushka, he can do nothing about this.
Yeah, and if you can see like the blast coming out from Solo onto RTW, it's as if like they didn't even use that much resources to get these kills. So it's going to be very annoying for Hellraisers as they TP back bottom lane. They're going to be afraid to die once again with the TPs on cooldown. That could be completely disastrous. And Lycan, he's normally pretty good at these kind of pressure situations, but fighting up against this Inkswell Riki combo, it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for anyone. Not much that Lycan can do in that situation, but he's just trying to do what he can. I mean, at least when he's dead, he can still last hit with the wolves, so that's something. Roger continues to follow Zayats around the map. Zayats now decides to spend his time denying some creeps, dragging them to the jungle.
Dire structures are fortified.
It's an interesting game for Zayats so far, as he's kind of just... He's got a stalker. He's got a friend in Roger, and Roger again gonna steal his bounty rune. Oh my god, poor Zayats.
Oh, they're gonna get 4 bounties on Hellraisers here.
They are
That's
indeed,
gonna be
yeah.
small wins. So the problem for Roger this game as a bounty hunter, if you look at the lanes, it's a bunch of unkillable lanes, right? Bottom, you have Keeper and the Lycan, where if bounty hunter connects that lane, he can't get any kills. Mid lane is a Bristleback, and the top lane is the Centaur. They're all strength here. So
Coil using the jungle onto the Enigma here, and he's just getting beaten down inside this corner. He doesn't want to break it, but at the same time, he's only level 2, so it's a really easy kill for Kasani. And Roger doesn't even contribute, really. He just clicks him a few times, just watches him. He's been stalking him for about 5 minutes now, and now just watches him die. It's truly brutal, but he'll get some revenge as Kasani's courier goes down to the Eidolon. A nice little snipe there from Zayats.
Oh, that's a lot of gold going towards his team too. It's better than Stampede bottom.
Yeah, they're going on to the Pushka here, and they will find him. As if they knew the Stampede anyway, but just that extra insurance policy to make sure that this Keeper of the Light really is well and truly going down. And I mean, even now though, he has the point on Blinding Light, but it's a little bit too late. He's still just losing his life every time.
Yeah, so the one silver lining here for Zyke is that since he died, the bounty hunter has no idea where he's going to go farm anymore. So he's going to get a little bit of space here to be able to just sit in the jungle, kill some creeps, and hopefully get some level ups. Because being level 2 at 6 minutes for Enigma is pretty unacceptable, to be honest. Bottom lane again, this fight just never stops in his lane.
It doesn't. Nyx trying to pop up into ILTW here, and he actually might survive. And now with the puck rotating in, maybe they can find the Riki. Nice coil coming forwards from Kasani onto the Riki. ILTW slowly losing his life, and nothing they can do about this one. He is just straight up going to die. So it does cost rotation from the puck, but they get the return kill. And the Lycan is nice and healthy as he gets salved up by Pushka in the end here. So all things considered, a pretty nice plays from Hellraiser. Slimy Fate's going pretty well for them so far, I would say, despite the fact that no one is absolutely huge in the middle lane.
But if you look at the net worth, it's only like a 50 gold difference, right? Between the two heroes.
Yeah,
the
you're right.
kills that he got. So it's not that bad, like you said. But now the rotations are coming out, and no one, he really wants to get this bottom tower, or at least pressure up the Lycan before he hits his level 6.
Yeah, we'll see if they can make something happen down here with this level 7, but he's actually just straight up walking away. Yeah, Bristle, a ton of CS, but most of this is jungle creeps, I think, so he's really actually behind the puck now on CS. The puck gets a bit of time in the lane, but they're going to find Roger at least here. In comes the Inkswell, but it's a very short duration one, doesn't seem to make a difference, so with the dust on him, he doesn't stand much of a chance of surviving this rotation from 3 heroes, although he's buying a decent amount of time here, really close to the tower. He's like, should I kill myself? No, I'm just going to go down to the Quills. Maybe not the most ideal play, but whatever. Anyone up in top lane? Yeah, they're looking for Resolution. Resolution trying to Indiana Jones himself away from Funnick, and does dodge out that Rolling Thunder just about. A wasted ulti from Funnick.
Really spoke much about this top lane, but it's a bit even in the sense that, you know, they're both the same levels, but I think a little bit, you can give a little edge to Resolution here. And as soon as he finishes his hood, he's going to be an absolute monster top lane. He won't be taking much damage from the magic, and then he can just go jungle while also clearing out the creep base top. But it's a little low right now. They really want to kill him before he completes his healing spell if possible.
Oh, they still might be fighting Reza here. And a nice stomp from him. Maybe look at the turnaround. Funnick's getting low. Oh my goodness. And Kasami actually has to drop the coil for it. This Centaur with the retaliation stacks are just too dangerous to let live. But, I mean, yeah, that's totally worth it for him. He doesn't mind at all if he dies getting a kill onto Funnick. That's very profitable.
That was huge. He's almost level 9 now after getting that solo kill onto Pangolia. I think Puck was just a little bit too greedy, not using that coil for the stun so the Pango can get out. And I think that was completely worth it for Resolution, and he's feeling really good about that. I wonder where he's going to go now that the Bristleback has TP to the top lane. He really wants to keep on farming, get that bracer, base boots up, just tank up in this kind of game so he's able to be that front line that his team needs him to be.
Yeah, he's got good farm, but doesn't need to be just a little bit further ahead at this stage. But he's not really too worried about how his game's going right now, but probably should be worried about his tower, as Nyx and Kasani just getting the smackdown on this mid, and they will be able to bring down this tower seemingly for free. I mean, they just rotate it and sort of take it.
this was no one's mistake here. He TP'd to the top lane, he left this mid tower completely unattended, the Lycan just rotating mid as soon as he sees that and just takes that free tower, and no one realizing his mistakes, actually running back to the mid lane, wants to redeem himself. At the end of the day, he's only a bristleback with a 0-4-4 build, so he doesn't even have that goo yet. I think this is really, really bad for BP because they lost the mid tower. The map control is going to be much greater for Hellraisers. They can walk into the jungle freely as they want. This puck pushing out the mid lane is going to send it to the tier 2 tower now. And I'm pretty sure Hellraisers are extremely happy with that. And the Lycan, he has a Necro 2. He's going to have like a 12-minute Necro 3 this game.
That's pretty quick. I'm starting to get worried for Virtus Pro, you know? I think we're kind of shifting. Bristle maybe not the brick wall we're expecting to be, but maybe Resolution can pick up that claim here, as he's actually had a pretty nice time in this top lane. Not the hugest net worths, but definitely a bit of an advantage over Funnick, and a nice amount of XP on him as well. So maybe Resolution can put out a bit of threat. But I feel like Hellraisers, you know, they're going to hit this Necrobook 3, and I mean, what's the puck looking for here? He's going to get a blink around the same time. That is a very clear timing for Hellraisers to just start going and bringing the fight to Virtus Pro. And there's going to be a huge wave of pressure coming out from Hellraisers, which Virtus Pro will have to deal with.
For sure, and these the tower damage from Hellraisers. Oh wow, the Power Ranger TPs. Oh, baited.
Yeah, there we go. That's a Rolling Thunder gone, I suppose, but double damage put to waste. But at the same time, Virtus Pro will hold this tower pretty easily. Not much counter pressure coming out across the map. I don't know, who's that really favor?
I think Hellraisers are happy with that, because now Virtus Pro, they can't really react somewhere else on the map. If this Lycan were to actually just walk bottom and start like pushing that lane out, I'm not sure BP can get there in time to defend that tower, but instead he decides to walk top because he thinks that BP is going to walk towards the mid lane and back to the bottom lane because they TP top. So a bit of, you know, some mind games going on here from both sides. But generally, if you use 4 TPs like that, you're probably in a very losing situation unless you make it really count.
Yeah, get yourself a couple of kills, make some action happen. The efficiency of the map is a big difference. Meanwhile, they might have found Roger here as they drop the Inkswell onto Zayas along with the Silence out onto the Bounty Hunter. And Roger, he doesn't really have much of a way out of this one, so he's just going to get a bit of damage out onto Solo, steal a little bit of gold before he goes down. What do you think about Roger's gameplay this game, though? Like, he's spent 90% of his game on the other side of the map, getting information, being annoying. Has he done enough? Oh, hold the phone. Yeah, I've actually thrown down the coil here, but Bristleback still trying to fight up into these heroes. But actually, they break the coil at the last second, and now that Stampede's being used, but it's not enough to keep no one alive. He's going to go down all the same, and that is 30 seconds on the bench for him. And this will now open up this tier 1 top tower for the Hellraisers.
Yeah, no one was able to help no one there because they used their TPs earlier to the top lane, then they had to move away to push out the other lane, so it was still on cooldown. So he was left all by himself there. And speaking of Roger, he just got level 6, minute 13 here, and they're starting to go on solo already.
Yeah, so they're going to turn around with a Soulbind though. That's threatening forwards here. Does have that black hole, but kind of tricky to get it off right now. Resolution trying to come in and set him up for it, but just not going to happen in the end. Virtus Pro unable to make it work. And back we go to the jungle side. Still looking for that mech. It's a pretty slow timing, but I guess he's got the arcanes to start things off, so not that bad. Yeah, doesn't seem that bothered by the bounty this game.
Yeah, he's spent a lot of the last 7 minutes just AFK farming somewhere. He hasn't even tried to like pressure any lanes or anything like that. He just wants to get his XP up. I feel that Hellraisers are in a good position, but unless they win a significant team fight on BP's side of the map and, you know, be able to take out a tier 2 tower or maybe get a Roshan, I think BP are playing at a very fine pace. Because they do have that late game, right? With the Enigma, they got the Ricky, the Center, like, their team fight is just far superior when it comes to the late game. So let's just wait and see for these upcoming fights, especially between now till 18 minutes. And if Hellraisers can really do something with this Necro 3 Dominator that the Lycan is about to pick up any second now, I think that's going to give them the tempo that they need.
Yeah, being a little bit more patient than we expected, but patience nonetheless. Meanwhile, Kasani, he's going for the Desolator on the puck, so still wants to go for that 15 phase shift attack talent and find himself that right-click build in the end. I like it.
I do too. I think he needs to be that carry in this game. The best way to deal with Enigma, actually, if you don't have a way to cancel that black hole properly, you can just have so much physical damage on some of your range heroes that he just dies while he casts Black Mage. Like, we've seen that many times before with, you know, Dusa lineups, Troll lineups, or Sniper lineups where they just kill the enemy, or Gyrocopters, like these kind of heroes. Puck can be that hero, right? With his phase shift attack, and then he's got that rapid fire late game, so it's gonna be a bit interesting to see this Puck build in this game and see what he can do.
He loves stuff like this, right? Like, I've watched Kasani for a long time. This guy, he's a crazy mid player. He does stuff like he did Doom Echo Saber Ags for a long time, which was very fun. He used to stomp people with that. We saw him the other day where he was playing the Elder Titan mid. That didn't work out so well for them, but you know, he's always willing to just change up and do whatever they need, even unexpected. But there's a fight breaking out at the bottom lane. They go onto the backlines here. Beautiful call coming out onto the Enigma and onto Solo, and they are immediately going to get taken down. Now the Ignis Sparta's coming out, controlling up resolution. No chance of him getting off any spells here. Just a straight up assassination in the bottom lane for Hellraisers. They take down 3 in a matter of instants, and there is not much Virtus Pro. No one's still sticking around here. I'm not sure what he's doing in this neighborhood. He does have a Crimson Guard, but what's that really going to do for him? Well, he's actually pretty damn tanky. Okay. And Kasani actually almost dies solo to a wild TW as well, so that's going on. So he's just causing a big old distraction here. Meanwhile, they are going to try and get the return kill onto the Ricky. Cute little Shuriken blocked with a black hole coming down onto the Bounty Hunter. They'll take anything they can get right now, but Virtus Pro will bring down that bounty. Also, the track's gone for the time being as well, so that should put the brakes onto Hellraisers a little bit. Gotta say, that was really nice from from that team fight, just dangling no one. He knows with this Crimson Guard how tanky he is. And I don't even think he popped it in the game. He was just like, yeah, I'm fine. Now, they're not done. Yeah, Pangolier is going to be the next target. He's going to get brought down as well. A TPM from a Pushka, questionable at best as they keep on chasing. He's under the tier 2, does have that armor and health regen. Is it really going to help him out versus this Bristleback though? This Hedgehog, he is angry and he is looking to beat down the Pushka. Pushka? Oh, that was nearly very nice. I mean, it might not result in anything though, unfortunately, because Bristleback, even though he is coiled up under a tier 2 tower, he is still just so chunky. I mean, he's thick. They cannot do anything about him.
This is a CIS Dota I know. You know, you lose a fight, you just run back down the mid lane and just start hunting people because you know the enemy spells it on cooldown. You don't stop and be like, oh, we just lost a fight, you should farm up, wait for it. Nah, just run at them, right? And that's exactly what they're doing, and all of a sudden they just built an advantage over Hellraisers after getting completely annihilated in the bottom lane. Now, VP lineup is better team fighting as the game progressed, but at this stage, Hellraisers, as long as they're together as 5, I do think they can take on VP. But this Bristleback, he's another beast. This Crimson Guard against this Necroblocks, like, it's impossible to kill him at the moment.
Yeah, it really is a brick wall, isn't it? Virtus Pro have got their hats on, they have put down the mortar, they've put down the bricks, and now looking onto the Bounty Hunter in the middle lane. Can they bring down Roger in time? It's going to buy a little bit of time. Bounty Hunter, he should maybe get away, but Bristleback's still on top of him. They're looking for the kill, so Nyx popping the shapeshift, trying to find a target, going onto Solo. Can they bring him down? In comes the Rolling Thunder from the low ground, but the ultimate from Grimstroke's got to connect, and now they'll jump in for the coil onto 3. Nicely done from the top, cutting them off on the high ground here, but they're just turning it around, but they will be able to get off. ILTW, the Ricky is dead. Looks like Centaur's heading the same way as well. This team fight once again going in Hellraiser's favor. The Bristleback here, not poking the little guy and just focusing on the side heroes. But now they're all dead. Maybe they turn around and try and bring down the Bristle, but there's a lot of quills building up here. But surely they get this kill. But they got to keep their distance. I mean, they got to respect the Bristle here. He's just wandering around in circles, so there's not much he can do. No one will end up going down eventually. They will kill this tanky little Hedgehog and get started running down this middle lane and getting some pressure onto the tower. But I mean, it's not that great for Hell. I mean, well, it's pretty damn good for Hellraisers, but in terms of what they can get for it, Roche, this could be good.
Yeah, well, again, now because VP ran at them, now it's Hellraiser's turn to run at them, and I could only imagine that once VP's alive, they're gonna be running at Hellraisers next down the mid lane once, and there it is. The Centaur TP mid solo already grouped up. They got not ready yet. Not yet. It's on the way, I believe. So as soon as they get that, they might be going in once again with that Blink Dagger. They're just waiting for the Bristleback to be alive as well. So again, like VP said, VP, as long as all their heroes are dead, this Bristleback gets isolated, Hellraisers can kill them. As we saw in the last fight.
Can. Now Solo does die for a bit of boarding here, which doesn't really work out for him. Not that great. No, not when you've got a bounty on the enemy team. Like normally it's like, oh well, you know, dying for some vision, I can accept it. But when there's a bounty, you can't really be giving away track kills like that. But still, they now know where they are, so that's probably know how to play.
Not good because they wanted to group up and try to make a play onto Hellraisers.
You're right.
So this Bristleback, this Grimstroke being dead while the Bristleback was just reviving, it's like kind of ruining their tempo. You see the smoke in the Grimstroke's item, like in his inventory. They really wanted to make a play right now. So because this game has slowed down after that Grimstroke just died, Hellraisers got all their spells back. They got the call out, they got the Lycan out, everything is ready. Now this next fight could be anyone's. So VP kind of feeling a bit lost at this point as to what their next move is on the map, since both teams have everything that they need to be able to take an engagement.
Yeah, they just got. I mean, luckily his death cooldown's very soon, quick, so he's back already. But I'm wondering. I mean, the Pucks finished the Deso. They are still really scary, and they've got their cooldowns all finished up now from Hellraisers, as you say. Like the jump from Virtus Pro, it does seem like it would be a bit of a play.
Yeah, so they got the Enigma with the Guardian Greaves now, and the Bristleback finished his halberd, so a lot of their gold.
Pushka.
Wow.
Yeah, ILT double. Using that fusel, killing very quickly.
So this is their opening for BP here, right? They got the Kato killed off, and it's going to be 4v5 like most of the engagements. So Hellraisers are already thinking about fleeing from the position that they're in to wait for this Keeper to be alive so they can group up again. And that's why BP are on the hunt with this smoke. Unfortunately, all the heroes have started to hide on Hellraisers, and they will not be able to get any pickoffs. Oh, Roger though.
He's getting dumped in the river here. Can they actually interrupt TP? They cannot, so he's going to make his way back to base. The Bounty Hunter will survive for the time being. Meanwhile, Kasar is getting a bit of a split push going with his catapult up here in the top lane. He's having some fun.
This is really looking like go time though for BP, because they're not really waiting for any other big items at the moment. The only person who wants to be farming is the Riki, and the rest of BP feel like they want to fight. So you can see them positioned very aggressively in Radiant Jungle on the high ground under their sentries, just in case the Bounty Hunter does walk up in there. Oh, Roger again getting caught out.
Yeah, on the backlines, he's either making space or just having troubles here, but they're going to put the shapeshift on Nix. They might actually want to go for this one. The Pugs coming in for this as well. It's going to be a full 5-on-5 with a bunch of tracks down as well. They know exactly where they are. Zayat is going to turn around with the black hole out on the line, cancelled out by the coil. And now with the creep army taking down Zayat, they will bring down the Enigma. Meanwhile, and they go getting forward onto Bristle here, but they don't really care about him. They'll just turn around the murder resolution instead. Now they look towards Bristleback, they look towards the tanky hero, but with Lycan disarmed, they're actually struggling to really get the damage out onto him. But a TP out from Nix, maybe? No, actually cancelling in the end, but it doesn't really matter. They've taken down no one anyway eventually. The damage does come in, just kind of rotating in heroes, taking it in shifts to deal damage to Bristle so those quill stacks don't get too high. And Roger, oh my god, just destroyed Solo. And now RealityW is also going to be the extra one dying here as he jumps in mistakenly. And that is going to be 5 heroes dead from the side of Virtus Pro. Hellraisers punishing their aggression and then some, and now they march into Roshan. This is why their previous fights have not looked that good, so unable to turn into objectives, but this time they're straight into Roshan. They're getting the big boy down, they're taking their Aegis, they're getting something which is going to commit to their long-term advantage. This is good for them.
Oh, this is so big. Look at this Lycan. He's godlike streak. He already had an AC by minute 22. And they just don't have the fighting capabilities at the moment for Virtus Pro. Like the Riki wasn't there at the start of the fight to be able to jump the backline and stop some spells from maybe even a coil that cancel that black hole. Where it feels like Hellraisers, they're just always prepared together. And the only person split pushing is this Puck, who can just be in the fight within seconds. Because he's got the orb, he's got the blink. It's super easy to connect with his team. And BP don't have that ability to be able to split push and connect with their team. They just gotta be together, and it's just not happening at the moment.
No, they are getting somewhat outplayed in these fights right now. Everyone going the way of Hellraiser. Oh my god, funny jumping into that one, but yeah, top lane push coming through as well. It looks like it's going to be Punk and Leo. The full stop comes out from the post actually, getting Funny down to the low ground, keeping him safe, but no one, he's still being pretty aggressive, just chasing at these Hellraiser's heroes. There's nothing they can do about this. But they've taken the top tower in the meantime, so still pretty good for Hell. Just a bit of time waste on the side of Virtus Pro more than anything.
Exactly, they're just buying time for their cooldowns to be up against, to push them a little bit, split up Virtus Pro, and then once they realize that there's some hero by himself or two heroes, the puck will just go in with the coil, and here it is. Funny. Wait, is that the target?
Thunder being used onto the bristle here, yeah. Something coming in as well, I mean, they're going for it. Track comes down there on top of the bristle back right now, he's just going for a little bit of a jog right now. They're going to pop the Stampede as well, the rest of the team getting over, Virtus Pro, and they're not actually connecting this one. Resolution gets over, they're just blinked away immediately, so no commitment from Virtus Pro. They're just going to let the bristle pull.
Oh, Solo was top lane. He really didn't want to come to the team fight, and I guess the Ricky doesn't feel too comfortable as well. That was very interesting. They just sort of abandoned their bristle back there, so it was definitely the right play for Hellraisers.
Now, again, the Soulbite coming into the middle lane. They might have just found themselves a puck. They will bring down that Aegis and Phonic along with it. There is no response from Hellraiser this time around. They don't have that shapeshift. They don't really want to play, but a nice blink away from the puck will keep him nice and safe. So Kasani lives. They lose the Aegis, and they do get a kill off the bristle. So a nice little punch back from Virtus Pro. Kind of boxing match where no one's really defending at this point, because every time someone goes for a play, they seem to be making it happen in this game. It's just constant punching, constant brawling, losses all over the place. But yeah, I mean, Hellraiser's definitely commanding this game right now with an 8k gold advantage at the 25-minute mark.
That was actually such a classic, like, oh, the enemy bristle's dead, let's be super aggressive. Then they get a little bit out of position, and VP had the balls to just jump them, although they only had 4 heroes alive. So getting rid of the puck there, and also the Pangolier, it's huge, because now they don't have the Aegis anymore. Every team fight is essentially equal, and they just bought themselves another minute or a minute and a half to just farm up and get this bristle, get this Ricky to his BKB, maybe the Enigma also closer to his BKB, and get to that big team fighting potential that VP can acquire.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they're looking for. They want to take these fights. They want to get on top of them and take them down. And Enigma, I mean, yeah, he's still just going straight in for the BKB, so still doesn't feel like the blink is going to be necessary in this game. And to be fair, you know, they're a lot of cancels. They've got the coil, they've got the shuriken, which is really annoying to play against because you can cast that from a huge range with the track. Just cast it on the Enigma and throw it at someone else, and the 1,100 bounce range comes up huge.
Yeah, I think the plan is like just black hole the Lycan or the Pangolier when he's rolling in, because you know those guys won't be able to cancel the black holes, right? So as long as he holds them down for like the 4 seconds, it's gonna be good enough. And you don't really need a dagger because you're not the one initiating for the black hole onto them. They're the ones who need to run into you with the Pangolier rolling or the Lycan ultimate.
So still, Hellraiser's gathering once again, smoking once again. They have the advantage, and they want Virtus Pro to feel this right now. What are they looking for with this?
Did you see a pickup? They can't really like go for the push straight up, because then it's just a 5v5. They want that advantage of you know, getting one kill first and then making the fights be outnumbered. So they're just trying to smoke, get this bounty hunter to scout someone out. The puck can easily follow up to him if need be. Right now he's a little bit far away, but at least you got your Pangolier who's got a blink dagger. So that Pangolier can definitely catch up to the bounty hunter and help catch anybody. But you know, look at VP how they're playing. They completely read or have read the situation where Hellraisers are on this map and just split pushing very effectively, buying themselves a lot of time to farm here.
Yeah, they're all over the place right now. It feels like Hellraisers have been wandering on the map, not getting a whole lot done for the past few minutes here, so Virtus Pro are definitely playing the map well. At what point do Hellraisers just drop it and just say, hey, you know what, we're coming in for this one, we're going to take some towers and we don't really care about our side lane, so it's actually never going to happen. We're waiting for Roche for that. Yes. Yeah. Never. Yeah.
I mean, both of these teams are very patient at this moment, right? Roshan is everything we've seen in high caliber games like these. Roshan is just what it comes down to, and none of these teams are willing to just take 5-on-5 engagements where it's just 50. It's pretty much a 50-50. It doesn't matter how much gold advantage you think you may have, unless you get a pick-off. So, pick-offs and Roshan. That's the name of the game at the moment.
Yeah, so might be Zayat's in some trouble right now. Roger getting on top of him. Funnick arriving to this one as well. Maposhka also getting involved, and Zayat's probably losing his life pretty quickly here. There's no help coming his way. Not even a Stampede being used to help out the poor Enigmas. He's just going to get run down in the bottom lane.
Yeah, that's the opening for them to keep on hunting, looking for more right now. Hellraisers, this puck really wants to coil someone. Oh, they saw the Ricky top. They're all keeping for it.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. I'm not sure if they're actually going to be able to find it right now. Kasani, he is hunting, but they don't have anybody for the time being. And even considering committing the Rolling Thunder to solo and then thinking better off it in the end.
Yeah, they just want to protect these outposts right now and get all the bounty runes if possible. But the bottom bounties are going to be a little bit exposed, so Hellraisers are only going to be able to get the 2 outposts and the 2 bounties. Resolution. Ooh, no coil. But not close enough to be able to reach and take a fight there on the centaur.
Yeah, it could have made themselves in something really bad with Maposhka, the only one in touching distance, really. And maybe Nyx could get over with a shapeshift, but it's not really that worth it. What do you think about this Lycan, though? He's gone for the Orchid, going that into a Bloodthorn. It seems really nice in this hero, to be honest.
He's dying top right now.
Ooh, he might be, and he definitely is, actually. He's completely beaten down inside the trees, and another track kill going the way, this time going to Funnick.
Yeah, so the Lycan with the Orchid, I like it, because it's going to be annoying for the Riki and the Enigma, right, before the BKBs. And if the BKBs are down, he's going to have another disable horde too. I think it's especially for the Riki, so that he can just send his Centaur, the Dominated Centaur in, silence the Riki, he can't jump out, stun him, and he'll just fall from that. So I like it, I really do. Another option would have been to go for Abyssal Blade, but maybe he just wants the attack speed and the Bloodthorn to be able to, help his entire team more damage.
But yeah, I mean, the Bloodthorn's going to make him hit like an absolute truck as well with the crits coming out from his units, but it's actually mid lane where the action's going to start. Now they're going onto the Bristleback here. They're holding out onto him, but they're not actually going to be that hard. The Ignis Fighter's coming on down, but Thrower's still fine with this one as they're starting to chase down the Coddle, and they might just get him, although they're actually struggling to finish the job here. No one's diving in deep for Maposhka right now, and he might well just find him. Meanwhile, in they're going to go onto the Bristleback. They should get the return kill on Tyler as well, although no one's still alive for the time being. The Zayat's threatening that black hole. They can't actually come, and they've actually got the puck inside of it. No BKB available for the puck. He's caught inside that stun lock, and he's going to get dropped down. Now they look over towards the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter forced a low grab, but popped off by the Inkswell. Virtus Pro, they play it well. It looked like they were diving way too deep with that Bristleback, but they managed to keep him alive just by the skin of his teeth, and then turn the fight in their favor. Beautifully done by the boys of Virtus Pro, and now they look to turn into the tower.
Yeah, he's got that AC. He's feeling really strong right now. He's got plenty of armor, physical damage reduction, evasion. So the Lycan is not doing so much against him anymore. And I guess also the evasion, like the Bloodthorn, is going to be quite nice against that too, right?
Yeah, it is.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, I realized Bloodthorn pick up on the Lycan actually. It's very creative. Didn't really work out for them that well in this fight, but unfortunately he did use it on the Bristle, and no one attacked him. Like the Bristle managed to get himself far enough away that he only took a couple of hits. Did still drop pretty low, but in the end they just wasted way too much on this Bristle. He kept himself alive throughout the entire fight, and when that happens, when you use all your big spells onto a hero which doesn't die, then fights never go your way. It's called fundamental rule of Dota 2. Yeah.
It needs to get it. This is what Hellraisers have been waiting for.
The TP point behind it on Hellraisers is the thing. They've got the outpost. They could maybe try for something, but they're just not really nearly quick enough to deal with it. And now Roshan goes down. Aegis and Cheese being picked up, and now they're even looking for the outro kill onto Roger here. But Funnick going to go bowling and gets himself a split. As he only managed to find 2 heroes, but Roger probably losing his life in this situation. But they're trying to make some kind of play here. I'm not too sure about this. Meanwhile, Grimstroke ulti comes down. Bounty Hunter still able to walk himself out though. VP actually don't get anything from this. Now they look forward onto the Ricky. Ricky does have that cheese. Might be forced to use it pretty early here. Yep, we'll pop it down. Meanwhile, no one taking to the front lines with his Aegis. Now really doesn't care. I mean, he was really a huge threat of dying previously to this, and now he feels completely invincible, and that's probably because he is. He's going to keep on running at the heroes to Hellraisers. Hellraisers, they're managing to get themselves out pretty well. Maposhka won't be so lucky as he tries to go for the TP. Doesn't pay off, but Nyx going to make his way back to the high ground. They can't quite get Nyx. Can't put him back into the mix. He's going to get himself out. I say that. No one's still chasing. He's still not done. Nyx is just like, wait, is this guy still for real? Like, here's a beautiful bulldog comes out, and now the rolling thunder coming up from Buddy as well, but enough to keep the Lycan alive, though it's not. They get the kill. Zayat finds it, and diving so deep in for this one. I mean, surely they can punish, but there's no buyback on the Lycan. Can they really do this? Out comes the coil from the puck, but they continue to jump forwards here. A fourth lap away from Pangolier. Does keep him out of danger. Meanwhile, the puck jumping in, trying to find Solo. Doesn't quite have the damage there. Crimson Guard helping out a lot. Meanwhile, no one. He's going to go sit in the fountain for a little bit. I'm not too sure on this one, but I mean, he's just a little quill machine in here. But what? You don't have a team right now. They're all gone. Buddy.
They sort of just park themselves in the enemy base, and all the creep waves are like in the middle of the map somewhere, so they can't even get any objectives from this. Russell's like, I'll help you, buddy. I got a loaded sword. Just, follow me.
What does he do? In fairness, he died, but as you say, they didn't really get anything done with this. Yeah.
I think this is them asserting their dominance in this. Letting them know, hey guys, what you gonna do?
You'll never say.
Things are starting to really fall apart for Hellraisers here. I feel like the Lycan is starting to fall off, and the heroes on Virtus Pro are hitting their strides. They got the Black King bars ready. Enigma's got the Blink soon. This Bristleback is essentially unkillable. Got a Basher about to complete Abyssal in another 1,000 gold. So it's looking a bit grim here for Hellraisers, although the gold lead is only like 1,000. This is where you gotta account for the big team fight spells that VP have and the unkillable cores as well. There's no like percentage-based damage coming out from Hellraisers that can, bring down this Bristle and the Centaur efficiently.
Yeah, exactly. It's too hard. They will have the Aghanims on the puck soon, which is going to help a lot against this black hole, because he's got the BKB, he's got the Blink Dagger coming out to him in just a second as well. So Zayat is going to be a bit of a monster, but you've now found yourself a cancel in the Aghanims on puck, so that's already dealt with. That said, if the puck to the black hole, then obviously you're going to have issues anyways.
Yep. I mean, it's kind of awkward for VP now that they lost the Aegis, but I don't think no one really cared. He's like, IDC, bro. IDC. He's just still playing extremely upfront and aggressively. Oh, Roger. Are they gonna hunt him down here? Shadow on the courier. That's his Abyssal Blade. That was huge.
Yeah, that's a huge delay actually on the side of Virtus Pro, and they're going to be without that for even 3.5 minutes from now. So he's angry about that one, but probably not going to stop him just running into the faces of Hellraisers anyway, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, the Abyssal would have helped him like lock down the Lycan, who's like running around, or the puck. So unfortunate they won't have that. That's like what, more than 3,000 gold, right? That he's missing essentially. Big item.
Yeah, huge deficit. And making that gold lead for Virtus Pro, basically nothing right now. Very even in gold, but as you say, it's still very much in control of Virtus Pro right now as we reach into this late game situation. But we are going to see some timings coming out from Hellraisers soon. We're going to see this puck with the 25 talent at some stage, still a way off at only 22 right now. But when he gets it, that Dreamcore Rapid Fire going to hurt Deso. And now some tier 4 items starting to drop as well. I'll grab a Timeless Relic on the side of Virtus Pro. I'm wondering if you give that to the Bristle. Oh, he's got a Paladin Sword though. I don't know. He probably...
Nah, he's good with the Paladin Sword. I think I think the Centaur having this relic is going to be nice. Slow's going to last longer. The stun's going to last longer. That's it's a very nice item for Centaur. Yeah, he does significant damage.
That is really good. The leveler on the Lycan with the Bloodthorn already completed. Like this guy's gonna blend towers. Let's watch him. He's heading up to the high ground right now. Popping the shapeshift just to get in and do a bit of damage. Jesus Christ, that tower to get beaten down. Solo might be the next target, but actually it's a bit of a bait here. Revolution jumps in from behind him here. This could be him caught out. Meanwhile, the Zayat's gonna dive back on the base. And Nick's trying to get himself away here, but will not be able to do so as RTW wraps around on top of him. So it's gonna be an enigma for a Lycan. Maybe not the best trade in the world here.
I mean, he got super debated by the leveler. He's like, yo, I'm gonna take this tower. And then he just died. Dude, you just see how long that Lycan was stunned for? The Ink Swell into the Hoof Stomp with the Timeless Relic. My goodness.
Yeah, he didn't get to move very much, unfortunately.
Yeah. the Ricky coming in for that clean hit. The Ricky also going for an Abyssal Blade now. Diffusal, BKB, Abyssal. It's not a super farmed Ricky, but I mean, it's doing the job, right? That's what matters. Like, look at no one. He's the real carry in this game. His net worth is absolutely insane compared to the Ricky.
Yeah, he's absolutely huge. AC, Crimson Guard, Heaven's Halberd, Abyssal on his deceased courier right now. Bristleback
that courier has been there for like 4 minutes. Such a really bad man.
Yeah.
So high level
timing.
Yeah. Oh, another courier. That's solos. That's his words. Ooh. These are
another thing to mention, by the way, is that no one has a 25 talent as well, which gives him plus 24 Warpath damage per stack. Yep. It's pretty important when you're this late into the game. You got an AC, right-clicking Bristler helps him push really nicely, and just turns him into just a bit more of a carry.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Bounty looking for a bounty, will find it, but unfortunately now getting dusted up by Resolution, and gonna pay for his bounty with his life. Although forced up with the high ground, trying to get the TP up, but there's too much damage onto him for him to get himself out. So Roger is going to lose his life regardless.
Yeah. And Roger was trying to finish a BKB. He almost had it too, but he decided not to buy it because he needs the buyback money in case something actually happens. Oh, top, bottom. Oh, he
what the coil? Interestingly, onto the. I mean, they might actually find a return kill here. They're looking for Funnick, and Funnick with the Maledict, struggling to get up the Rolling Thunder. He's got a black hole in. Fair enough. And Ricky getting stunned up, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to make a difference. Although Funnick still on the run here, going for the TP away. Ricky trying to chase him, but won't be able to do so. They get himself out. That's a black hole wasted for absolutely nothing.
Well, I'm gonna blame LTW on that one. He decided not to click his BKB to kill that Pangolier, so...
Park on the run, having some issues here as he's got Yahobi on top of him. Grinstroke's wife locking him down with the silence, but no one's really that interested in trying to chase Kasani anymore. This guy, he's a little bit too elusive for them to really bring down here, so Kasani's going to be absolutely fine, absolutely peachy.
Yeah, feels bad for Enigma. This Black Hole's going to be on cooldown for a little while now. I think if they do commit the BKB on the Ricky and just kill off the Pangolier, like, it'll feel so much better that they can just probably even walk down the mid lane and force a buyback out with the Bristleback just hitting that tier 3 tower. But instead, they're just going to have to chill, wait for the next Black Hole again, and hopefully try to get a pick off. Like, this Puck and Lycan are being extremely annoying in this game, just split pushing, and you can't just let this Lycan go to your towers, right? He will kill him extremely quickly. So.
Meanwhile, Kasani having got the BKB in the bottom lane to get away from the Centaur and the Ricky, and also popping the coil as well, so really committing hard to get himself away from this fight. But I guess he does have the quickening charm, so his cooldown's not really that worth it, but still, 9-second BKB gone. Doesn't feel great, but he lives. That's the important thing. Yeah, I mean, this game's just slowed down immensely. No one's really doing anything. We're just waiting for Roche again.
It's the Aegis. Exactly. And this is where BP are like, damn it, no one, why did you have to just AFK in front of their fountain for such a long time? We really want to have that Aegis and maybe put some pressure onto the tier 3 towers already by now. Oh, here it comes
out. They're trying to find Hellraisers right now. Roger and Funnick are going to be the targets, but a nice rolling thunder from Funnick. Going to smash through 3. The Moonlord comes rolling on through. Roger, though, might not quite be so lucky. Popping his BKB as he tries to escape this one and going invisible as well, but they have another dust to throw out onto him. The Magic Lamp's going to help him out a little bit, getting that purge off, but he's still in trouble as they continue to chase him down here. There's a gem on the Ricky. Very little chance of Roger being able to escape this one. They will keep on chasing. A 4-staff away, but he is gone. Meanwhile, talking to the lane, just playing around with no one still, but he's absolutely fine as well. So yeah, I mean, that's just a straight up death on the bounty. It's a little something, but still the counter pushing coming in from the side of Hellraisers, meaning not that much change on the map. Game just continues.
Yeah, just top end though, solo.
A bit of a battle of the 5s right now. The Pushka, he's bailing. You see later, so I don't want to be involved in that one.
Yeah, nice 4-staff out, not getting stunned up by the ink swell there. That was a sure death if he got disabled. And yeah, no one just casually checking the rush, and just that's pretty much everything that they're waiting for in this game. And Zayak going for an A on this, doesn't want to get killed off by the Lycan, still wants to or die to the Puck while he's casting Black Hole, so that's gonna be nice for him. What did no one get? Oh, Heart of Taras. That's his final item. He had like 60 gold earlier, so that's the one tanky person.
Alright, currently sitting on 5,100 HP, with of course 607 HP regen with that heart affecting him. Pretty good stuff. He's got a physical resist of 70%, and he's got, that is 33 armor as well. So no one, he's not going to die very easily, to say the least. Now the Roche gets started, and they've actually jumped out of the Roche down to kill illusion. This is going to give everything up for them, but in comes Nyx in the bottom lane. Now, he's actually got that talent which summons 2 extra wolves, so going to really be pushing hard on this bottom tower. Meanwhile, Puck trying to do the same thing at mid, but Zayas is waiting. They're rotating off as well, but they're just letting them take the Roche, which I think is very interesting here. They've even given away a refresher shard with this one as well. I'm not too sure about this from Hellraisers. Could they have taken that fight?
No, there's no chance. This Bristol Centaur, and also you're fighting into Blink, BKB, and Enigma. Like, you have to play for the split push. You have to play for the pickoffs. If BP are balled up somewhere together as 5, there's no chance they're gonna win that fight. So it's much better for them to split it, try to catch someone on BP off guard, maybe make the fights 4 versus 5, and then try to run that BP and then pick them off one by one. The Bristleback is essentially unkillable, and at the same time he's got an Abyssal Blade, so he's not running away from him either. He's gonna build up like 400, 300, Warpath stacks or whatever, and then just Abyssal you and just kill you so quickly.
Yeah, and Puck's the man with the plan. I think his build this game basically screams, I want to murder supports. Although he has got a Silver Edge, I honestly don't think this is like that important. Maybe at the end of the fight you can use it to isolate and kill the Bristle, but even if you Silver Edge this Bristle, right, like he's still just ludicrously tanky. You're not going to be able to bring him down quickly enough, so I don't know, maybe with the Bristle and the Bloodthorn and then everybody's just wailing on him, but how likely is that to happen? Very unlikely, and they've got a spots. They're going straight away on to Nyx here. They drop the black hole, and this he's gonna go down. Nyx is dead. They'll find the kill. 3 heroes coming in for that one, and Virtus Pro will get the trade. Meanwhile, though, on the other side of the map, no one's up on the high ground. He's looking for Funnick here and just smacking away at this tower. He's got 2 catapults with him as well. Funnick trying to control up no one here, but he's not really doing a whole lot. But here comes the buyback. They're buying back on Nyx. Okay, they're going to try and go for this one now. The Sarge comes out along with the Silver Edge. Is it enough to bring down the Bristle, though? He's still tanking through all of it right now. They can't actually do the damage. No one's going to be able to straw himself out. They're not done, though. They might be forcing this a bit too hard, though. They throw down the Ignis Fire. They're going to go on the backline to set. Zolo's going to die. But Pug, he's losing his life. Before start away, though, he might just make himself out. Meanwhile, LTW jumping on onto Funnick right now, but Funnick doesn't have that many ways to escape, but he's still going to force up, holding off. Meanwhile, Roger jumping on the sidelines here, but Zayas comes forward, lands a black hole onto the bounty, able to control him up to the rest of the team, take down Funnick. Funnick has the buyback to try and come back into this one. Meanwhile, Solution, though, he's on the high ground. He's dealing with the Pushka, and Pushka will pop. Like him, he's off doing other things. Pops the shapeshift in the middle lane, running down to that tier 2 tower, but down in the mid, that's where the problems are starting for Hellraisers as they go onto this high ground. Through the back door protection, though, it is taking some time to get this tier 3 tower killed off, and now the fortification comes out. Virtus Pro are struggling. Meanwhile, Nyx is actually going to be able to take the tier 2 tower in the middle lane with this huge army of creeps just pushing through, and this is going to force Virtus Pro back, but it did cost them a lot. It cost them a bunch of buybacks for this fight. Funnick and Pushka both buying back into this one. I think, did Nyx actually buy back into this one, or did he just respawn?
Yeah, he did at the start.
Yeah, he did.
They tried to go for the Bristleback.
Right, that was it, yeah.
Yeah.
They also find the dieback on Funnick, though. Uh-oh. This is costly.
Nope. So that was a 5,000 health Bristleback. It was isolated bottom, like only with Solo, I guess, like to back him up, and they couldn't kill him. Right? They had 5 heroes on him. They threw everything, and they still couldn't kill him. So I can't imagine Hellraisers being able to take any fights against this Bristleback whatsoever if in that situation they were not able to bring him down.
Pushka shows himself in the bottom lane, tried to push it out, but immediately realized he took a step too far and just runs himself away, and he is gone. This Spell Prism on the Nyx, by the way, doing so much work to reduce the cooldown of Black Hole. Black Hole now, 112-second cooldown. Love that.
Okay. And he has got that 12% cooldown reduction as well, so this man is just spamming out Black Holes on one hero because he doesn't care. It's going to be up again, and all you got to do is kill one hero off and just run at them with your numbers advantage.
Thinking about people that don't care, Virtus Pro They just don't care about the backdoor connection. They're just getting straight through it. Meanwhile, Roger trying to go on the background here, trying to bring on Zayas here, but unfortunately with these two heroes joining in, it's too hard for him to actually go to this fight. Meanwhile, on the front lines, Nick's running around with his BKB. They're trying to bring down this Bristle pack, but he's just too tanky. They can't do this. They keep on trying with the Bristle, and he's just too much. It looks like the Leica might be getting bombed down again. Down he goes. Nyx is dead. The Ignis Father's doing absolutely nothing to keep that Leica alive, and now it's the Lycan's turn to be dead without buyback. This is looking like it is starting to go wrong for Hellraisers. It started a long time ago, but now it's finishing this game. That's exactly what Virtus Pro are doing right now. They jump on top of the Pushka, and Pushka tries to force stuff away. That's not going to happen though. No one. He's happy just to sit in the fountain. Look at this. He did shoot this on the fountain right now. However, the Park has actually bought a Divine Rapier. Is this going to do any resolution? He's trying to have a go in the fountain, but that's not going to work out. His teammate, he's just going to straight up die. And now they have a chance. They've got a Divine Rapier on the puck. What can Kasani do with this item? That is a big question. He's got the 25 rapid fire talent. It's the Rapier. The stars might be aligning for Hellraisers here, but I mean, it's such a big ask. It's a 5-on-3 fight. They're going to try and jump forward here, and Reds just get taken out outside the bait, make it a 5-on-2. It's starting to go from unlikely to impossible, but Kasani going in deep onto the backlands here, finds one, can't do enough damage to Enigma, and now he has this Ion Disc as he unlocks it in his base. He's going to be able to survive through the puck's engagement as well. Kasani has to jump himself away. Meanwhile, Resolution, he's just getting to business. He's taking down the tier 4. Sides will eventually go down to the puck as he pops out of the base to finish the job. Enigma, though, does have a buyback, and the tier 4s are gone as well. There's one man versus the world, and unfortunately, that's a fight he's not going to win. Kasani won the game with a Rapier in his pocket, but will take the victory here in game number 1. 50 minutes in, it's all it took, Theben, but I mean, it just started to slowly unravel for Hellraisers. This
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
They are cushioned by the fact that their Bristle has pretty much a free game for his farm, so he can always just stand in front, and that is the reason for this Bristle pick. It's just to put a delay, put a timer on Hellraiser, say if you don't push enough, then eventually you have to eat through his Bristle back, and it's rough. So yeah, I think this game, draft really wasn't too much of a factor. It's just small things in the game that really...
Also one point that we didn't touch on before the draft really starts, because these are only the bans, like that VP played their laning phase pretty well, and when you have a slight advantage and your opponent has a mid-game lineup, it kind of slows them down. So let's say that tower defense, if they had a little bit of a better laning stage, you actually do defend the tower. Those few fights in the mid, you wipe them 2 times instead of once, and maybe that actually gives you the strength to win the game. So that point in the game where it's the laning stage, VP does well, it's actually pretty big, because you kind of delayed the enemy timings.
Well, speaking of pretty big things, we've kicked off this draft, and the DP, once again not banned, will be picked up instantly this time.
I think the adaptation for Hellraiser is their ability to really convert on an objective during or post-fight. Like with the Lycan, you really need to make sure that you win the fight easy enough that your Necros actually stay alive, that you can then push. These fights, they were so long, drawn out because, again, the tankiness that it's hard. So Hellraiser to go, oh wait, DP's not banned, let's go for that instead. The other point as well is Weaver's not banned, but there you go. I was going to say, I think VP have to, they're pretty much deciding, we know we're going to probably pick Centaur because they've picked it so many times. Do we go for the Weaver or do we give it to them? Because if it was available, Hellraiser would go for Weaver.
Oh, this is an insane Rubik game. This is definitely insane. You have Shikuchi, which is, you always want to have like Blink Shikuchi or something with the Rubik to be mobile, and then if you want to stun, we all know how much Hoof Stomp actually does when it's on a Rubik. So from the beginning, good Rubik game. Rubik has been a really strong hero in this tournament. So I really like what Hellraisers have. On the other hand, Virtus Pro again going with their comfort. Heroes easy to execute, something they know how to play, and something that they can win. Just they don't need some massive plays. They just need to know at what time they do what around the map.
I also love the fact that it just kind of blocks a pretty potent lane combo, right? The Centaur plus Rubik potential, if you want to go that way. But I guess you're probably not thinking that because you got your Weaver in there already.
Yeah, that's not really a thing. This is not really a block pick in any way. It's literally just as a solid pick to round out your opening phase. It's if the Centaur isn't too smart, he doesn't press Retaliate after pressing Stampede, you could steal it. But again, just press Retaliate after you hit Stampede. A little PSA for any Rubik players, just so Centaur players, sorry, just so you don't give away Stampede. So annoying actually when that happens. Whew.
Yeah, that's something that you never expect to happen, and your team is like, nah, Rubik is never getting Stampede, and you just make a slight mistake. Rubik is always gonna know that. He's always gonna try, so you know that you have to actually respond with your Retaliate. Yeah. So I don't think we'll see, but if we see, it's gonna be one stolen.
Yeah, I'll go for one Stampede stolen this game. Yeah. Yep. We'll keep that as a stat to measure.
But maybe it'll be a critical Stampede.
Or it could be worthless. We don't know.
Oh, that's the beauty. Can happen. And what do you think is going to happen open up this second phase? Like, do you think Virtus Pro, is there a potential for this Weaver to be a core, or do you just like it too much in the kind of 4 role at the moment?
At this stage of drafting, like all these heroes, like Weaver, DP, Void Spirit, they can pretty much go to any lane, any role. So it's, yeah, it can go anywhere. And then we get VP with the X-Doctor. Not too bad. Again, it's, well, VP, they played it yesterday, and it was pretty much like a non-existent game for them, unfortunately. But it's all about this whole laning. VP, they play so fundamentally, and this draft goes so quickly, but they play so fundamentally around the idea of 4 protect 1, and Witch-Doctor plays pretty well against that, because he has the early aggression to mitigate the fact that you're missing a hero, but then you can fall flat, so you need that core to really step up. And you can see that now. They've set themselves up for a pretty strong 4-hero combo, and yeah, so it's Spectre over Haunts, like it's deadly.
Yeah, this is literally 3 heroes that can fight early, constantly. There's a Necro, biggest counter to the Spectre in the game, when it comes to late game, of course. But you have 3 heroes that can constantly fight, and Spectre, even if he has a bad laning stage, which is not going to happen with the Witch Doctor, you can always haunt, because these 3 heroes can do enough damage, can run people down, can lock them down. So VP, really good start, and this is right in their comfort zone. This is something that they've been playing really well, and something that they've like fallen back to when it comes to the later stages of the group stage.
Yeah, I think if you're Hellraiser, you might want to ban out like a Storm or something, just because that reach is very strong. Sure, you have the double silence on DP Ricky, but as soon as you buy BKB, all the lockdown on Hellraiser is pretty much gone, and they've played it so many times already, the Storm plus Spectre combo. It looks greedy, but then you get to 30 minutes, you're like, yep, it's greedy, but it's so impossible to deal with. Okay, now they've got a little bit more lockdown. That's nice. That's pleasant. But they don't have...
It's a pretty decent disruptor game, though, right? Like, there's the Weaver, there's Centaur Stampede. You should be able to catch targets off.
Yeah, they have a lot of ways to catch them. My fear is they don't have a lot of big burst damage to deal with the Weaver Ag. So even if you do get a Scythe off, Weaver just Ags, resets that hero, and then suddenly Scythes out the picture. And VP have set themselves up for their classic game of, you might be able to play aggressive, but will eventually just outscale you, and that's exactly what they're doing in this game. They already have the win condition, and they have last pick. The disruptor pick also shows that the DP will be obviously your mid lane, with your Funnick most likely playing the off lane. Again, they might change up if the DP and Necro is off lane or mid, depending on this last pick. That's the last bit of flexibility in their draft.
Well, what I don't like about this Necro is his paired with Rubik. Rubik usually likes someone in front of him to be actually that strong hero, because Necro, even though it's a Spectre and the Witch Doctor lane, he can die in the first 3-4 levels. If he makes a mistake, he can die. He's not that sturdy if he stands in front. These guys don't really spam spells. You're not going to have a full stick.
Ooh, okay.
And they do go for the Pugna. Yeah. I was wondering if they could do this, because there is that double silence you talked about as well, but such low cooldowns, right?
Yeah, Pugna's generally really nice. Like you're going to be up against DP or Necro, so you're going to have a decent lane. It means that now when you play in your 4 and your Spectre's farming, you can actually pressure objectives and try and close up the map and own the map in that way. My concern is, like, if Ricky has a really good start to the game and he goes for like Diffusal, Nullifier, Pugna pretty much doesn't have a game, and you're very reliant on the Spectre to be your late game damage. Like, you might fall flat on damage right now, because you rely, like, literally, what is your damage?
Maledict? That can happen. That can happen. But is Ricky really going to have a good laning stage? He has a disruptor in lane, and he's against the Centaur Weaver. Right?
Well, if I was Hellraiser, I'd just put the Ricky bottom, put the Necro top, DP mid. Your Necro just sits up against the Centaur, has a good lane. You aggro the Ricky like they did in the previous game, and then you pretty much enable your entire team to have such a game. And
that's a solid way to put it, though. I think this Virtus Pro lineup is just very well rounded up, and it's in their comfort zone, and I think that they know how to play it. They actually have burst damage. Stomp Centaur, Maledict, and Pugna burst. The hero is gonna die.
A hero.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Where are the other 4 dying?
Yeah, they're not.
Okay. So I think for that very reason, and that logic bomb alone, I'm going to go with Hellraiser, because they actually have a way out of the game. But maybe if they make an egregious misplay, they might fall flat, but nah, Hellraisers.
Do you agree with that, Nicola? Did he just convince you to backpedal on the Hellraisers camp?
He didn't convince me. He has a valid point, but he didn't convince me. I think this is really in Virtus Pro's comfort zone, and it's a really easy lineup to execute. You know your timings, and it's just going to be a kind of straightforward game from them.
Pretty split here on the panel. It could go either way, so we'll throw it across now to our commentator duo to see if we can actually pull out a third game here for the first time in the playoffs, or is this going to continue the 2-0 streak?
Prepare.
Well done, my beauties. The stench of death is upon you.
Wait for it.
What a surprise.
I could be wrong. I think top's where the action's going to be.
Exactly. This top lane is gonna be Spectre with the slow, then the solo. Actually, he's already scaling up for Voodoo Restoration, so they're gonna play a very defensive style in this lane top. Just sustain the Spectre, keep him alive, get him the farm that he needs, and then eventually, I think when the Weaver TPs to the top lane, once Centaur is like completely fine bottom, that's when we're gonna see a bunch of action. Because with Maledict, Cask, and then the Weaver just Shikuchiing on top and activating the Swarm, that's going to do a lot in this top lane. And as you said, the mid lane is going to be pretty much a wash. No one just wants to get some experience, probably rotate to the Centaur's lane later, help him take the tower, or the Centaur rotates to him, help him take the mid tower, something of that sort. And then they're always going to have the Stampede ready to get out of engagements where Exorcism gets activated.
That's a scary thing. That's going to be a scary factor in this game, which I feel hasn't really had that much talked about it, but the Exorcism does kind of give Hellraisers a very clear timing to fight around. It gives them the pushing ability, which they would lack without it. And basically, this spell, I feel like, is going to determine a lot of the way these teams play the game. I think it's definitely the biggest spell in the game. Meanwhile, Weaver in the bottom lane getting pretty low to Pushka and the Ricky here. Ratting out Zayats here, but jump away from Nick's just going to save him from Sakuchi, and nothing's going to happen down to the bottom lane for the time being. But actually, there's a tag on the Centaur who wants to pass it the way of Zayats. We'll see.
Yeah, there's the double wave already pushing up into this lane, so Centaur's going to be able to farm that up. Zayak just needs to make sure that this disruptor doesn't get any pulls off, and as long as that happens, I think Resolution is going to be extremely happy in this lane. It's when the Centaur hits that Retaliate level 3. I'm kind of surprised that he went for the hook stomp, actually. As long as you have the Retaliate, you build up any, stacks, and then when you get level 3, get the level 2 Retaliate, it's going to be very difficult for the Ricky to lane.
Yeah, he might suffer a little bit. Zayas he's the one on the receiving end of this bottom lane aggression, though. I mean, Pushka just constantly throwing out the Thunder Strikes onto this Weaver, abusing his relatively small health pool, as Resolution just continues to sit in the middle of this lane. Just be super annoying, as he's probably going to take this. Yep, takes the big tomato creep as well, so getting himself that extra bit of money. Meanwhile, it's actually Funnick in the top lane who's done pretty well to start things off. 12-2, currently the CS leader into Spectre, who's currently 7-0. So a decent amount of pressure being put on LTW for the time being by Roger and Funnick. And to be honest, this does strike me as a pretty good lane. Generally, Rubik along with someone who wants to sit in people's faces feels like a good idea to me. That Fade Bolt, you get much more value out of it if you've got someone who's just kind of sitting there begging to be attacked, and that's exactly what the Necrophos can do for you. So it seems like they are playing this lane quite well, and yeah, they're gonna have to try and pull through and get some CS in the jungle instead.
Yeah, it's a very, very tough lane for the Spectre, that's for sure. 2 range heroes hitting him, and one of them having Heartstop Aura. This Funnick, like Necrophos, is the bane of every melee carries that you can pretty much find. So we're gonna have to see big rotations come out from either the Necrophos or the Weaver. Sorry, not the Necrophos, the Pugna or the Weaver for VP side to help this Spectre have an easier time in the laning stage.
Yeah, but as we mentioned before, that's very unlikely. I mean, I don't think anybody from this middle lane is going to be rotating, because the moment one rotates, their tower is just going to be pushed down so quickly. I mean, the Nether Blasts and the Exorcisms on the other side, like it's very much 2 sticky mid laners which want to force the other to stay in lane. So the side laners have to be very self-sufficient in their laning, and right now RTW is having some troubles.
Yeah, Solo just has this Voodoo Restoration permanently on, trying to sustain the Spectre as best as he can. Then they just keep hitting him non-stop. 22 last hits on Funnick here. Almost perfect CS in this lane at the moment. Already has a Bracer and 2 Fairy Fire, so it's going to be extremely difficult to kill. But I think they need to understand on VP that the Necrophos is the key factor in this game. He's the one that needs to shut down. They gotta really, put that pressure on him. So I do expect no one to move out of this lane, even though the DP will be able to, use his Exorcism and take this tower mid lane, because that's just how important Necrophos is in this game.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like Virtus.pro never really planned to win the lane, to be honest with you. Like, going Voodoo Restoration first on the Witch Doctor is very telling of how they kind of already knew that things were going to be pretty rough on this top lane, and we're definitely experiencing that. But meanwhile at mid, I want to talk about this matchup a little bit, because no one, he's doing very, very well right now. He's currently 25-8 to the Death Prophet 16-10, so with a pretty decent advantage over Kasani right now, as Kasani's struggling to CS under that tower right now.
Yeah, but Kasani does have 10 denies. It's not too bad. It's just all the Decrepifies onto the Death Prophet. So he has to use the Crit Swarm to get the last hits in the lane. It's just a little bit annoying for the DP. But at the end of the day, it's just going to come down to like the 5v5 matchups in this kind of game. Because the laning is just... There's a lot of, spells and creep skipping and, people just trying to play for the levels going on. So I'm very excited this game to see when the fights start breaking loose. But Funnick actually gonna get Malady to top. It's just level 1.
Yeah, he's chill. He's chill. Actually, they're turning it around, but it's really the bottom lane with actions happening. They take down Pushka. Solo getting low at top, but they can't finish the job under that tower. That's the Voodoo Restoration going to work here for Solo, along with the tower helping out a tiny bit as well. But yeah, I mean, it's actually down in the bottom lane. Pushka just kind of gets jumped in the jungle. And that was the Pugna coming in for that one as well. So,
and Pugna got the first blood, so he's extremely happy about that. His net worth is gonna inflate just a little bit here. Surprisingly, Resolution is actually not doing that well bottom lane. I think this has a lot to do with skilling Hoof Stomp level 1. Retaliate is a very important skill level 1, especially to help you last hit some of the creeps as well. You can always manipulate your lanes because of it. So Resolution not doing as well as he would like, and I think that's gonna hurt them quite a bit.
It certainly seems to have done, but they're trying to come back into this one. I also think it's kind of down to the fact that Zayat just keeps getting bullied in this lane. And as you see here, I mean, they're just jumping in pretty hard here. And Zayat, he's going to have to get himself away. Hasn't scooted 1 second, but won't get it off. Pick the trade and the lightning bolts. Finish the job onto the Weaver. And I mean, that's a lot. That is a lot. As I said, Weaver not particularly high health pool, relies on evasiveness, but with the damage out from the Thunder Strike and along with the double blink strikes from Nyx, it's really hard for this Weaver to keep his health pool up and keep being effective in this lane. And that just leaves Resolution alone. And yeah, this is a Pushka show down in the bottom lane. This Disruptor, he's owning.
Oh yeah, here we go. The Pugna rotating to the bottom lane now.
Oh, this might be the cuts right now. See you later, Pushka. I'm sorry, that one's on me, but he's going to get run down. And I don't think there's much they can do about Ricky. They're still trying for it, but the TP's coming over from the Rubik, trying to try and help out his Ricky now, but they're pinging him. They know he's here, and this might just be Roger actually taking the bait in this one. He could lift the partner, but decides not to. He's tanking like the full life drain up. Kasani's down into this one, though. Pops the ultimate, pops the exit, and they see the partner, but he's TPing himself away. Zay's going to be able to run around on the sidelines as well, and Roger unable to really lock down Resolution and throw him back, since Exorcism is really doing nothing. He's going to use it to farm a hard camp.
Wow, that was actually so epic from no one. He goes bottom, he realizes that Rubik is the only disabled there, forces so much reactions, especially the DP, who uses Exorcism bottom instead of pressuring the mid tower, and then he just TPs out. Now, all of a sudden, there's no more Exorcism, there's no threat of his mid tower ever dying anymore, and now you can do the same exact move again, either top lane or bottom lane, wherever you choose it. That was just absolutely genius from no one.
Certainly was. He's controlling this game right now. This Pugna had a decent start in turning it into a very decent minigame. Naturally, the Rubik goes to steal the rune, but no one just positioning himself on the high ground, trying to do it with a right click. So have that life drain, but has another Nether Blast available, but won't actually be able to get the kill onto the Rubik right now, especially with Kasani showing up and forcing back no one. It's still a lot of damage taken, but yeah. Roger
He stole the arcane rune for the Pugna.
Yeah.
If that Pugna got that arcane rune, that would have been some very scary things in this game. Look at Funnick top lane. He's like all by himself up here, fighting off 2 heroes. I mean, if we look at Spectre's last, he's doing pretty good. He got the level 6, but it definitely doesn't feel good that this one offlaner can just sit here and not be punished in any sort of way whatsoever.
Yeah, but the Rubik, he's kind of been moving around the map a little bit, so that does free up things a little bit for the Spec. They can't just keep on pressuring the Spec, but... Well, I think at this stage, you're feeling hold off phone as they look forward onto the central wall runner right now. The left back keeps inside that smoke cloud for as long as possible. Resolution can't use any spells. All he can do is get cooked up in the bottom lane by Roger, Pushka, and Nyx. That's a nice kill onto the center, and yeah, a bit of a stark difference coming out between... Oh, look at the stacks which Funnick is currently taking.
That's a lot.
This guy's getting rich.
After this.
Oh no, no one. He might see this happening right now. Might be able to take a significant chunk off these creeps. They're going to look forward onto the next part here, and he just gets absolutely obliterated. And now these big fat creeps, the juicy ones, come in the way of no one. He's going to take them all. Oh dear.
You hate to see that. You hate to see that. Oh, no one takes all the creeps.
All their work, all their investment, their offlaner who's doing so well. Tragic.
That feels so good for no one. He's about to hit level 9. He's just about to be 10 minutes into this game. Oh no. And that's the #1 net worth hero on Radiant side as well, dying.
Yeah, it's a really high value kill at that as well. Good day, 235 gold, and then also grabbing these creeps as well. And Funnick's like, well, unfortunately also misses the D-ward as well. Doesn't predict that they'll have it this deep, so. Yeah, he's in trouble. He's in trouble. The glimpse is going to come out. Not needed though. They'll get the bug all the same. Might still kill in the mid lane. Maybe Kasane can get some pressure onto the tower as well with this Exorcism already running. Looks like he will be able to do so. And though, coming in with solo. They're going to try and defend this one, I suppose, but I'm not sure how much they can really do. Fortify comes out.
It's almost done, yeah. I think they should be okay with defending this. It's gotta maybe decrepify the catapult or something. Yeah, all good, all good.
He's hungry. He wants the death pop. They're actually gonna maybe rotate that Spectre into this one, but the silence comes down onto the Pugner. But the bottom is where the real action is. Nyx, though, he's also able to escape this engagement, so not that successful so far for Virtus Pro, but they're still looking for Pushka. LTW really hungry to make this rotation work for him. Try and trade the aggro over towards Revolution, and now the damage coming down. No one turns up to his bottom lane, and they will be able to drop Pushka. Roger? Not sure that's the TP you were looking for, my friend. Probably going to lose his life. Turns around, though, with the life drain. Dead Resolution kind of low here. They're going to have to drop the Death Ward to try and get the kill, and they will bring down Roger. Did a decent amount of work into his ex-teammate there, but does eventually power. Meanwhile, Death Prophet getting beaten down here. She really wants to try and finish the town. Going to try and go in with a life drain. No one unable to get the deny, but might get a return kill on DP. DP going for the TP out. It's going to be close down to 120 HP, but not enough damage in that level 1 life drain to kill off the Death Prophet. So pretty successful in the middle lane for Hellraisers, and to be honest, not a bad past few minutes for Hellraisers in general.
Yeah, and meantime, Funnick has just been sitting in top lane, just pressuring this tower up with the catapult here at the same time. The only unfortunate thing for Hellraiser is that the Riki hasn't been able to farm like the last minute or so since he has been pressured. But I don't think he's too worried about that since the DP did take the mid tower. I mean, that's like the most important tower on the map, right? The tier 1 middle here. So
stop lane and looking towards Funnick, and again it's going to be Funnick losing his life time after time. This is his second death now up in this top lane, and that's just not what you can be allowing to happen. I mean, this guy's got so much money, but it's just going the way of Virtus Pro again here, and now they're looking to pressure yet another tower. They want these side towers. They want the advantage somewhere. They don't have their mid anymore, but they want to bring down the top. We're just going to turn up though, immediately try and get that sentry down and get their vision out, but Virtus Pro already on the retreat.
Yeah, you really cannot be doing that as the highest net worth and essentially the carry in your game as his Necrophos. So that's going to be pretty big. And you can see VP's game plan. Like, they're not too worried about the towers. They're more worried about, like, getting experience for themselves. So wherever they can get kills, they will just keep doing that because they know they're playing the Spectre game. Spectre just wants to farm up, get his Radiance going and such. So Hellraisers, though, they understand as well what the VP wants to do, and they don't want to give that to them. So now they're starting to group up. They're starting to pressure towers. They want VP to fight into them 5-on-5 instead of just always getting picked off all over the map.
Yeah, as we shift into this mid game, I think we're going to really see the full potential of the Hellraisers lineup. Once they hit their timings, their team fight is going to be strong, but the Riki has some troubles down in the bottom lane. Has to pop the trick to the trade, but don't have anything to jump to, or maybe he does, but Pushka turns up just in the nick of time. There's a Maledict on him though, and that is going to put an end to Nyx, and actually Pushka might just be another log on this fire in the bottom lane. The right click's going to do from solo, and Pushka is going to get his sausage sliced down in the bottom lane. 2 kills on their way.
You can see LTW, he's like, I got 1 second on dagger, give him the kill, and then boom. He's like, nah, my double kill, baby. And that was such a nice play onto the Riki. Then level for Maledict, and the cast actually bounced to the Riki, so he couldn't use the trick to the trade right away. So he took too much damage from the combo of the Witch Doctor and just falling into that position 1. And Spectre got a lot of XP from that too. He's about to hit level 10. He's a very, very high XP Spectre. Look at the Necrophos, who was pretty much solo in the top lane. He's not even, I wouldn't say not even close, but he's not the head of the Spectre anymore.
That was cute. Nick's actually smoking the Ancients just to make sure he can get the D-Ward off safely, because he didn't want to get stomped by those Ancient powers. But Yeah, no, this net worth chart is looking really worrying now for Hellraisers. You know, we were just saying about how Hellraisers are going to be the team which is looking to shine in the mid game, but the timings are being delayed. You know, Nyx, he wanted to have this Diffusal Blade finished by now, and he is still a little bit of ways off. Kasani as well doesn't have the Yules finished, and this Necro dying at some key times doesn't have the mech. Like, it's... everything is just turning up so slowly for Hellraisers because of the movements which Virtus.pro are making, but they're looking for some action with themselves now, but they've only seen Solo here. Maybe if they can get RTW, that would be a bigger target, but Stampede actually used preemptively just to make sure these guys get out of here. The catch is so lacking on the side of Hellraisers. They're trying to look for the glimpse here. They've got 2 points in it. RTW is going to be the they're dropping the ultimate, everything coming down to the spectrum with no exism, even being thrown into the mix right now. They want to kill off RTW. RTW going for a day through the trees and the death ward, forcing back the side of Hellraiser. The TPs are coming on over, and now the aggression switches. They pops the ultimate from the Spectre here, trying to find more targets for Pushka. That's going to be an easy pick up on the trees here. So he's going to try and run them in a bit of circles and stop them fighting his team, but it is another victory for Virtus.pro. You could maybe argue that at least Ricky's having some time to farm his defusal, but he was actually just kind of hanging around, hitting some lane creeps in this situation. Still not finding that much. Maybe they can grab the Weaver here, but actually a little bit late on the left, maybe on the left. Nah, it doesn't seem to make. Oh, never mind. It does make a difference because he gets off that time lapse. So don't bring him down in time. That's just calmly runs himself away. And again, Hellraiser's just not finding these kills.
Man, it feels like Hellraisers are getting very, very impatient. Like, that Spectre kill was a very far-stretched, goal there. They could just wait for this Ricky to get the Diffusal Blade and then take these engagements, but they feel like they gotta do something. And again, another Death Prophet ultimate being completely wasted. So they're a little bit slowing down their own tempo because they're overly aggressive at this point in the game, where all they gotta do is just group up and go for some objectives.
All they gotta do. And Virtus.pro making that very difficult for them there. Meanwhile, the Reaper side coming down onto the Weaver. It's not enough to bring down Zayat, and actually it's a Necrophos who's in trouble. Virtus.pro just again and again, every single move Hellraisers try to make, they are just 2 steps ahead, finding the return kills, getting the big ones down, and now looking for the tower as well as Resolution, just chomping away at the tower. But includes the Ricky on the sideline, so the force swap actually out onto him, nearly cute enough to disrupt that kill, but Ricky does bring him down in the end. Meanwhile, a jump in onto the Death Prophet. Resolution doing a decent amount of damage to Kasani. Kasani can actually pop that spell because of this annoying Nether Ward. Now Stampede's being used. No one trying to turn this one around, but he yields out onto the DP. Nether Ward, well, they're actually going to run themselves away, Virtus.pro. They are so low on HP. There's no cleanup crew available from the side of Hellraisers, so all these low health heroes from Virtus.pro are just going to be able to run themselves away. They do lose their Weaver, but it's very little advantage. That said, there's actually a gold advantage for Virtus.pro this side, but it's very, very small. So even though they have been doing a lot of work across the map, the time they're taking to make these movements, it is reflecting in their net worth, but I don't think they're minding that much. But you're right, RTW could be the one in trouble. Lift up, throw back, keeping him inside the smoke for as long as possible with these TPs coming on over. Hellraisers need to get themselves out.
That's why you max out Dispersion. The spell is so good at mitigating damage, but he might still get gone on here. Oh.
Glimpse back. LTW under the tower. Funnick really hungry for this one, but I don't think they're going to find him. There's too many heroes from Virtus.pro here, and again, this overextension might be punished, though. The life drain immediately cancelled out by Kasani with that silence. That's not going to happen. There should be no one picking out. There's a ward here, guys, but there is not. No such thing.
I think this is the position in the map where Hellraiser actually do want to be, though, because this has effectively stopped BP from, farming as much as they were earlier. But obviously BP know exactly what's happening, and they're like, okay, guys, let's go split push once again. Just let them be there. We don't need to take this engagement.
Now they're going to the butler here, but he's actually got the 4-stop to get himself a main, but Pushka, he's still got 2 seconds left on this glimpse if they want to try and take this fight. They're going to try and make it happen soon. Resolution is standing by with an invis room nearby, going to jump in, get the storm, trying to buy no one the time he needs to get away, but that's not going to happen. They get the kill, and now they'll move on to the Centaur as well, and the Yules is coming down. He's going for the TP up, there's a lift available on Roger, and that Centaur is going absolutely nowhere. Hellraisers, they're going to spice up Virtus.pro source a little bit as they try to make some stuff happen in the mid lane, but end up feeding away 2 kills, and now it's Hellraisers' turn to fight back. What can they do with this? They do have an exorcism.
That's so good by Hellraisers. They got the Ricky, finally, as we were saying, right? Ricky Diffusal, so they have a way to initiate properly and have a slow going, right? So on this map, though, at the moment, the Spectre already went bottom, pushed the lane out. So Hellraisers got to reassess the situation. 2 heroes are dead, but the lanes are not in a good position for them. So they just want to, get these lanes out and maybe go for these tier 1 and tier 2 towers bottom and hope to have DP actually fight them. But look at IOTW. He is waiting ever so patiently Oh boy, he doesn't want to TP. He doesn't know where to TP to farm right now, so he's unsure.
So you're going to be punished to the death. So connects Vunic, he knows. He's picking exactly where he is. What's the play? What is the plan? There's the spectral dagger available, but yeah, in comes the ultimate. Virtus Pro are here. They're all pinned down in the trees, and Kasani's going to be the #1 target right now. He does have a Yule's Will getting off, but what happens afterwards? Not very much, I might imagine. He is trying to get off these Spirit Siphons, but meanwhile the backlines are taking down the punch. Kasani going to go down. Meanwhile, Phonic running in a direction, but I mean, there's not really many places for him to run right now. As Virtus Pro, they will be getting on top of him, and it's going to be a bit of a slow run, but they should be getting a kill here. There's no hope coming in for Phonic right now. He's buying them a little bit of time, but he will die eventually. Meanwhile, he goes to take some outposts at the very least, so they get the XP advantage from the outposts, but yeah, I mean, that's still 3 really, really big kills from Virtus Pro in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Hi is very proud. They stayed in the trees, Spectre baited them, and here came Virtus Pro to just wipe them out one by one. I mean, Hellraisers are really unsure of what they're doing when this Riki is just not in the fight. Like, they gotta understand that Riki is the most important hero in the lineup, and he needs to be the one to lead these engagements with his vision or his diffusal blade, and then after that they can take the fights. So if the Riki's not there, you just gotta back off, and if he cannot TP to you, you can't be in super aggressive positions on the map anymore.
You need him. This Riki needs to be doing more than he is, I feel. But he has got a lot of farm. He is the most farmed hero in the game, and he is going for this Nullifier as his first item. What do you make of that?
I think it's good to purge someone so they can't get decrepified. That's the reason why he's buying it.
Right.
So that way, no one can be saved, or no one cannot save someone else or himself or any, whoever gets nullified. And it's also a really nice soul. But what I really want to mention right now, though, Nomad, is click on Spectre, right?
Ricky? Yeah.
What he got? Coming on the card.
He's got a Radiance, right?
Yep.
Alrighty.
It wasn't a bait for a rapier, okay? I was just trying to let you know. There's a Radiance online, and this is the big item. This is the Spectre timing item. He's got haunted 20 seconds. His team is already smoking up before the haunt's even up, so that when the engagement does start, they already have it ready to go. And this is going to be the make or break situation for both teams. Hellraisers have to win this engagement. They just have to win this engagement, no matter what.
It's going to be so tough. They don't know about this Radiance yet. Maybe they've looked in the middle lane. Maybe they assume it's coming, but regardless, they're going to start onto Kasani. There needs to be a save coming out for the death roll, but that's just not going to happen. It's immediately an entry kill onto the enemy mid laner. Roger going to be the next target up here as he loses most of his health. Stampede coming out just to make sure this happens. Roger, they're going to steal it, going to help him get away, but as they even doing that, Funny going for the TP is successful. Roger's still on the run, but I think he's going to get run down. Meanwhile, Zayat gets a kill onto the Pushka, and Roger's going to meet his end fairly swiftly afterwards, and that is 3 kills for the side of Virtus Pro. A successful defense of that top lane, an amazing debut of this Radiance. Is that the kind of fight you were looking for, Steven?
That's the kind of fight I expected. But if you're a VP fan if you're a Hellraiser fan right now, you were really hoping that they would be able to win that engagement somehow. But perfect jump onto the DP. Haunt comes through, gets vision of every hero. It's crazy. You get Radiance, you use the Haunt, then instantly you already have 1,000 gold, where all your teammates are also getting a bunch of experience from these kills. They get some more map control, and now Hellraiser's got to think, what do we do next, right? The Haunted's on cooldown. We might have a small opportunity right now to go use EXO on a tier 2 tower, and maybe BP make a mistake from there and take the engagement even while Haunt is on cooldown.
I mean, I think there's a huge case to be made about DP's positioning in this game as well. She feels invincible because of the heal scepter, but Kasani has just made herself such an easy target to go on each time, and I expect this if you have like an Oracle or a Dazzle or something like that on your team, or even the Shadow Demon, but they don't have that save, but now they do. They find the Sentinel. This is a big target. Can they bring him down in time? Trick the Trade doing a decent amount of work, and they will get the kill immediately. Jumping across onto Solo. It's going to be the next target right now, and it doesn't look like Virtus Pro can bring anything more to this fight. They're going to accept their losses. They lose a bot laner and a 5 position. It's not that bad, but the success system is still running, so they can look towards getting this tier 2 in the mid as well.
Yeah, the best thing about this for Hellraisers right now is that there's nobody on VP side split pushing at this moment. So they're actually all stuck in the base. All 5 heroes are actually dead for not doing anything but sit in the base, right? So they're going to get a little bit of breathing room here, but unfortunately DP ult had to be used there to be able to kill that Centaur. So again, another opening gonna come for VP now, where once Centaur and Witch Doctor are alive, the Haunt is in play.
Yep, it's the battle of the Exorcism, and it's now a battle of the Horn with his Radiance up. That is the probably now the biggest spell in the game. Virtus Pro have control of it.
They're here though on this hill. Hellraisers, they don't want to stop. They really want to keep pressuring them. They make another smoke play here, but they're not DPO. I don't know about this one. They gotta get a really big kill though, on a core.
And Solo is not that. I like the tricks to trade up to the high ground, but Solo immediately gonna turn around and stun. It's an awkward engagement here. BKB pops the break as he tries to get towards this one. They've actually lifted up the center, so he can't get that stop. Now he uses the Stampede, but they're able to take down Roger, but no one has also died in this. Phonic will trade his life as LTW, tanking a decent amount of damage here, but it's looking like the fight going in VP's favor. Nick's trying to run himself away, but has nothing to jump to, and all 5 heroes just get annihilated. There is too much damage to fight into. A valuable lesson learned from Hellraisers here, I feel. You can't fight VP with their ultimates up like this, but oh gosh, oh no, Pushka tried to do a bit of warding, but ends up getting brought down. Zayat decides he wants a kill, and that's going to be yet another kill going the way of Virtus Pro, making it, I think that's 6 now with the dieback on the Disruptor, so pretty good for Virtus Pro, all things said and done.
And this Spectre is like 1,000 something gold away from finishing in Manta as well. She's just getting so enormous in this game, and they needed to actually get the jump onto the Spectre and Reaper sight them in order for them to even have a shot in that team fight. Unfortunately, the Spectre was not the one getting caught up, and things turned really sour for Hellraisers very quickly. But I mean, there's still some hope here though, because although the goalie, I mean, like I said, I really dislike looking at goalies in terms of, you know, who's winning in these kind of situations. I kind of look at spells. I think Hellraisers still have a shot in a sense that if they do get this BKB up on the TP and maybe Necropulse finishes one more item and there's like a bad engagement taken by VP, they can definitely come back. Because this Ricky still does plenty of damage as well.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, he does. He's still, you know, a farmed hero. Did decide to go for the BKB rather than jump straight in for that nullifier, but I feel like that was the right choice. Unfortunately, just a poor fight choice from Hellraisers.
Exactly. Like they just smoked into the enemy team without any vision, and also a DP exorcism on cooldown, right? Like we as casters already saw the, you know, disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah.
That's smoke already, so like they can only imagine that. They just gotta assess the situation. Like, why are we winning fights? Oh, Ricky leads the fights, and DP has exorcism. Those are the ones that we've won. So that's what we gotta keep on doing. And sometimes in the middle of a game, that's really difficult to see.
It is indeed, yeah. I want to point out that Zayat's actually going for an Aghanim as expected on the 4th position on the Weaver. That is such a good item to have with the Spectre, though. I mean, this combination of heroes and items is just disgusting. Like, taking 2 rounds of dispersion damage, along with the Spectre getting a second chance, just continuously getting off this Radiance burn, along with her natural damage as well. I mean, it's just too much to deal with. Zayat's having some fun, playing on the edge here with this time-lapse, and he's still running into his heroes as well. Look at this guy, he's baiting so hard. He's like, yeah, you want to kill me? Come and kill me, boys. See if you can manage it. But I've got the cavalry on the way, and if you don't make this a quick death, then I will not be the one lying on the floor dead.
Yep. I want to mention something. Zayak, he was the chosen one. They gave him a jelly. Oh, dodge big angel.
Oh, so low. The mech comes out from Phonic. The Guardian's Greaves helping him out, and should be enough to help him survive through this one. Helps him out a hell of a lot.
We were talking a lot about supports getting jellies. I remember no one is the one who got that, and he actually gave the jelly to the Weaver. So you can see the amount of respect they got for Zayak here. And I mean, okay, to be fair, Weaver actually needs jelly. This hero as a support uses so much mana that jelly just makes him a completely different hero. And especially to be able to farm up like this Vessel and Aghanims, I would say he's actually an even more important hero than like Centaur this game. He's more like the position 3 in terms of like the priority in
what he brings.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah, Nick's actually jumping in here. They're going to go for the easy pick up onto the Witch, but again, that disruption coming through. Now the heal actually coming out. They really want to Witch to survive this fight, but Roger won't be so lucky. Meanwhile, they will finally get the kill onto Solo. Pretty even right now, because Kasani's popped both the BKB and the Exorcism, but Roshan is up. But RTW, he is it. He's coming back into this one. Stampede being used as well. They really want to try and take this fight. They're going to try and go for the Weaver on the sidelines, but Weaver is dancing around the damage from through into the death of it, and you'll kills comes out from her, trying to keep herself alive just a little bit longer, but they are on top. But RTW actually has to back himself up, and now with Spirit Siphon isn't enough to keep Steph on the line. It certainly is not. Riverside comes down. It's not enough to keep Resolution down there. He turns around, kills off the DP. Meanwhile, Nyx and Pushka actually ran all the way back to base in this fight, so they wanted nothing to do with that one. Thought it was going wrong way earlier, and just got themselves out, left their death off with the dead. I don't know how I feel about that one. I felt like that was a real opportunity for the Ricky to get in and do some real damage in that fight, but unfortunately, he just never turned up, and that's going to allow Virtus Pro to take this for a Shen. I don't know what happened. Do you agree with the position to get out on Razor's there? Do you think that fight really was over?
Well, they feel like every time Spectre uses the ultimate and gives vision on all of them, they are so hesitant to take the fight after that. And the problem is, like, if your DP does use the exorcism, you gotta stand your ground. And you gotta, like, help him. Because now they just get the free Aegis, you completely forfeited everything, and there's no more fights anymore. As soon as you're alive, you don't have your big team fighting tool any longer, and the enemy has an Aegis, so...
That's you're right, buddy. Let's actually Pushka's the one who's going to get brought down here. His arm's getting super low. They will get the kill in the end, but now the Ricky might be in some trouble. Nice BKB, though. Dodging out the Storm. Jumping over to Roger as well, who storms his Coochie and getting away out of this fight. Nyx, though, he's got 4 seconds left for his next Blink Strike, but he is invincible, and they don't seem to have the detection right now. They do have the dust, but they won't be able to find the Ricky, although ping's coming out from Solo. I think the Ricky might have just dipped under the tower for a second there. He's on the run under the safety of his own sentry, and yeah, Nyx is going to be okay in the end.
One hit.
Ooh, God, Roger. Still playing a dangerous game right now. And they're just going to drop the Death Ward to finish the job. Tip coming out for Solo. They'll tip each other. He's like, fair enough.
It's tipping one another.
It's almost like a handshake.
Yeah, Nyx, I don't know, man. This Ricky, he might have had the right idea with the Nullifier, but he had to go for the BKB, right? So his damage output is still not so high, and the Pugna can definitely still save someone from this Ricky by just decrepping them, so... Oh, TeamSpeak in 2020?
Yeah, Virtus Pro, maybe they got some like old contracts or sponsors or something like that. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm kidding.
Sure
I was actually using TeamSpeak up until like whatever point I stopped playing professional Dota. Like it's just a preference thing, I think. Like most of the teams never moved on to Discord for talking and stuff like that. TeamSpeak just has like, it's easy to use, I guess, or it's comfortable. People are used to it.
For sure. I think there's got to be something to do with the latency as well, because Discord sometimes, using the...
Right.
You can get personalized servers on TeamSpeak as well. But anyway, the game's back on. Quick hiatus here as we get back into this game. But yeah, I think Hellraisers are going to be in a really tough position to win this game right now. I mean, the Spectre with the Aegis, she's going for a Scouty next as well. And the Weaver's going to be sitting behind her when he's back alive pretty soon, grabbing the Aghanim's as well. So LTW is he's just a monster this game.
Yep. I mean, this Disruptor and the Rubik are just gonna be food for the Spectre every time he clicks taunt, unless he's taunting onto someone that Resolution jumps, Centaur stomps on. That's also a very good target to go on. It just feels like team fighting for VP is so much easier than Hellraiser. For Hellraiser, it's like a very complicated math equation in terms of how they need to start the engagement, where they're starting the engagement, and who they need to jump.
All right, but spell that math equation out for me. I want to hear how you think Hellraisers could enter this fight to stand the best chance of winning. What needs to go right? Oh god, not like this, Roger.
They need everybody alive. That's the first. They need everybody alive. But if there was a situation where they can win fights, they would need this Ricky to go from behind, jump the Witch Doctor, kill him since he doesn't have any ways of staying alive against the Cloud, apart from the Pugna getting a Decrepify on him. They need a DP to silence the Pugna, and then they can take an engagement from there, where they already kill off the position 5. And they gotta play with buyback, for sure.
Yeah, these repair kits doing a lot of work for Hellraisers though, as Virtus Pro attempt to take to the high ground, but actually they've got so little damage to take towers with. These repair kits are going to be doing a hell of a lot of work this game.
He's got a Nullifier on the Ricky.
Yeah, just gets it finished. He's in the face long enough to grab it. Now, maybe they stand a chance of jumping on the Witch Doctor and finishing him off, but they're actually going to go into the Pucker instead. The Nullifier comes up, keeping him inside. The ultimate from the Weaver to keep him alive, but it's not enough. They bring him down, and now Spectre, she's in some trouble, and RTW going to lose his first life moment across to the central, but Hellraisers might have just found themselves the dream scenario here, and they're jumping on top of the Spectre right now. Spectre just trying to run us off. Meanwhile, Solo turning it around with the Death Ward, trying to come into this one as DP needs to get herself back a little bit here, but they have killed off Solo. He is dead. Now they look forward onto the Weaver again, nullified up. They're bringing him down. So much work being done by this Ricky with the nullifier. Roger has to be careful on the front lines here. It doesn't let take this fight, but they're also very, very low on the side of Hellraisers. They can't afford to let themselves get killed off by RTW. A lot of respect being shown from Hellraisers, but at the same time they want it. They want it badly, but Nixie's taking so much damage. Uses tricks and trades to dodge a little bit, but backs himself out. They can't do this. They realize that they cannot bring down the Spectre, so back themselves out. But Hellraisers, they do find the Dream Initiation. The target all along, it wasn't the Witch Doctor, it was the Pugner, and they bring him down, and no one does buy back into it, but unfortunately doesn't get to the fight in time. And Hellraisers, they get a huge high ground defense. They take the Aegis off them as well. So much done. And I mean, this nullifier, I was thinking, all right, it should do a bit, but it did work, Steven.
Oh yeah, that was actually so huge. I think the nullifier stopped the Force Staff as well. I'm not sure how the mechanic there works, but he did force himself, but it looked like it stopped midway there. And because he did finish the nullifier, he was able to jump the Pugna instead of the Witch Doctor. He has so much damage there. The Aghanim's almost making some MVP plays there, but the Necrophos ultimate stunning him long enough to just die, and that's what you need. You need to just burst someone at the start of the fight where they don't cast any spells, and then you just take the engagement after that. And you gotta let this Ricky lead. It's so important that they let this Ricky lead the fights.
My question to you, is this going to happen again? Because this was the reveal of the nullifier. Virtus Pro didn't know about it. Now they adjust their game plan. Is this going to happen again when a Pugna gets jumped like this?
Well, I think he's going to be a lot more safe because he actually used his dieback in the last fight. So if the Pugna gets jumped like that again, the game might just be over. Like, I wouldn't say over, but they're going to lose every advantage VP has amassed in this game if the Pugna dies again. So he cannot afford to do that. He's got to play super safe. He's probably just playing to buy his BKB now, so that doesn't happen again, right? The nullifier can't really do much against the Black King Bar there. So they're just going to AFK a little bit on the map, complete that before they take any more engage.
Yeah, pretty clear game plan now from both teams. We'll see who it manages to work out for better. Now, you know, I want to point out something here. Why on earth does Disruptor? He's actually got 2 Wind Laces and Tranquil Boots. Not sure about that one, Chief. I mean, multiple bonuses from multiple Wind Laces do not stack. So
when you're thinking about a lot of things, those things happen sometimes.
I mean, he's actually, you know, Tranquil Boots, they require a Wind Lace as well, right? So he's actually got 3 Wind Laces. Meanwhile, RTW knocking on the front door right now. You said that was the way AFK, but they're doing the exact opposite of that. Resolution jumps in onto the Necro, keeps him stunned up. A couple of trading going on here with some spells, but no real commitment from either team.
Nick is waiting on the side here, waiting for that opportunity to jump in, hopefully find that Pugna once again, because he knows he doesn't have a buyback here. So positioning at the moment.
Yeah, he wants it.
By this play from BB, this takes some big balls to do when your opponent has no balls.
Fucking they go on to the Pugna, but actually the nullifier doesn't reach him in time. He manages to force himself away from this. This is messy from Hellraisers. And meanwhile, RTW and Revolution, they're doing rock in the backline, but the ultimate coming down. It's causing real trouble right now. RTW is going to get caught up by the Reaper side, but we're going to save him, but he's already dead. Nick's going to go down as well, though. RTW and Nick's going to take another fight, and the Death Bomb getting so low as well, but helped out jumping away. It's actually gone. Kasani is out, so it's going to be 2 heroes dead, but immediate buyback from him, and now they're going to be able to find Solo on the retreat. He is gone. Kasani did have to buy back into this fight, but without the exorcism, doesn't do a hell of a lot of work, but it doesn't matter. They still hold the high ground and kill off RTW. I'm actually surprised they still had the damage to bring down Kasani inside of that fight without ILTW, but he was already pretty low from previous situations, and man, that was really, really messy from both teams there. Ricky trying to get the engagement he wanted, jumping onto the Pugna, but Pugna actually getting the 4-staff off before the nullifier hit, and it does have a little projectile in nullifier, and it needs to connect before the 4-staff is used, otherwise it won't catch up until the 4-staff is over. So
right, so that fight, like, although he didn't kill the Pugna, he effectively did the same job where he got the Pugna out of the fight and he couldn't cast any spells, right? What happened there was the Spectre was in the middle of everything. He was doing so much damage, and especially through his dispersion, but there was no heals coming out from this Pugna onto him. So he ended up just taking too much. He died, and Kasani, like, buybacking there, I'm not sure it was necessary because the Spectre was already dead, but he did it anyway. And I think this gives an opening for VP to try and kill him. And next engagement, this Pugna already has a BKB now. So that means it doesn't even matter if the Ricky jumps no one anymore. He can just casually BKB, force himself out, and then rejoin the fight if need be.
And also, I mean, this disruptor was huge in this fight, getting off that Static Storm. The Weaver actually did just about manage to get off the time lapse into the onto the Spectre, but because it was so late in the fight, the Spectre had still taken a decent chunk of damage, and with the Reaper's Scythe coming down on him as well, it did bring him low enough for Hellraisers to finish the job there.
Yeah, Resolution as well had like a sliver of HP too in that last fight. He almost died there. So maybe if he died and it was just like Weaver and Pugna left on this map, like I would expect Hellraisers to have pushed out all these lanes and playing much more aggressively, especially since Pugna doesn't have buyback.
Yeah, that's gonna be something for them to worry about for sure. These buybacks now for both teams actually is DP's used hers. No one's going to have his in 3 minutes 39. Everybody else they've brought out for the time being because they kind of realized probably that there's going to be a little bit of quiet, a little bit of downtime here. And what kind of state are we in the game now? We're now looking forward to this next Roshan, I guess.
Yep. Roshan definitely going to be the big factor. I think Hellraisers are going to have this Rubik and DP playing extremely back in the fights. Not extremely back, but somewhere where they let the Necrophals and stand in the front, give some vision, or maybe even the Ricky because they don't have buybacks. And then the Spectre, like I expect VP to just revive and go run at them. Like if they were willing to take engagements where Pugna doesn't have buyback and no BKB, then I don't see why they wouldn't be still fighting into Hellraisers right now. After Pugna has completed his BKB and the Spectre revives. I think next fight they know that this Pugna can just stand his ground, cast heals onto the Spectre, and the Spectre will probably just not die.
Breathe it in.
Big claims, but I think you're right. I mean, it's not just the Pugna as well. It's the Weaver. He's made himself an absolute menace in these fights with the Tagnum Scepter. Yeah, it really does feel like the next fight is going to be much easier from Virtus Pro, and I don't really see Hellraisers pushing any advantage in the next few minutes. Roshan might respawn in 20 seconds. We'll find out Roshan's respawn time when that 20 seconds hits. Until then, it's a bit of a guess.
Do you see the Weaver and his item? What he has in the backpack? That's a big item for Spectre, right?
Illusion's cape, yeah, true enough.
It's going to be huge for Spectre. It's going to be a big boost in her damage and also creating another illusion. And that illusion, there's a chance that they might think it's real. Right? I've seen that happen many times because it doesn't take as much damage as normal illusions do. So,
yeah, especially with these big tanky heroes like a Spectre as well. So, yeah, this could be a bit of a bait coming out. We'll see if they're able to do anything with that. Whether Hellraisers are going to be wise upon it. And what other neutral items coming out for both teams? Let's see. Hellraisers. Oh, they don't actually have any tier 4s just yet. I mean, they have only just spawned actually, so yeah. All right, fair enough. I was thinking like 35, and I'm like, wait a minute. It used to be 40 anyway, so I don't even have that excuse. Damn it.
Right. Do you wish that items, like the 60-minute items, would be dropped down to like 50? I feel like that should be the case.
I don't know. I mean, they are very, like,
powerful?
Polarizing. They kind of, yeah, they're really powerful. It kind of forces the game to end, which I know is the point, but I'm not sure if you want that. Like, if you have a really clutch game, which hits 50 minutes, and then you just get one team which, runs the jungle or finds an Apex or a Ballista or something and just kind of ends it. That's like, not that entertaining.
37 minutes is 60 minutes. That's like a very long time for your next set of items to come back. I was thinking it's going to be a very stale, situation till then. So, and we rarely ever get to see tier 5 items. Like it's so fun when you see those things come up.
Roger with an Arcane Rune and Sakuchi. He's living the dream right now. Yeah, what's your favorite combination of tier 5 items? Because mine has to be, I really like Drow with Ballista, because the extra range you get on her E, that is hilarious. Multi-shot just covers like half the map.
I'm playing about 10 games a day for these past weeks, and I have not got to tier 5 items once.
True, that doesn't happen very often up in the higher tiers of games, that's for sure.
I don't know what my favorite item is. No, I got it one time. I got the Meteor Hammer one, right? the one that like lets you, it's like a blink.
Oh yeah,
that one.
This guy. Yeah.
I didn't get to use anything else, so just don't last that long, man.
Yeah. We have ourselves Spell Prison, by the way, on Kasani. That's a very big item. 12 all attributes, and more importantly, the 20% cooldown reduction is huge on this Death Prophet. Nick's still going to be hanging around with the Orb of Destruction.
Here we go. Lead with the Ricky. This is the recipe for success right here. Just gotta let your Ricky go in there, man. Find someone. They actually have a ward. That's a really clutch ward that they planted here, and they did see some of VP's heroes walk up this direction. So this could be a big initiation.
They're chasing hard. Roger leading the charge right now. Ping's coming out. This could be an awesome start to the fight for Hellraisers, but they need to find that right target. And now Smoke's going to get popped immediately using the ultimate on the Spectre just to get the vision onto the heroes. And they're actually trying to find Nyx here. He's jumping up to try and get down to the low ground, jumping across to his teammate, but Hellraisers, they're the ones on the run right now. Funnick getting a little bit left behind. They're looking for Kasani. Kasani going to pop the exit, and they're going to try and make something of the fight. Funnick turning around, trying to look for a target right now, but they won't really be finding anybody to start this off. Necrophos getting pretty low here. Might just be dropping. Meanwhile, on the backlines, Nyx, he's causing some trouble. He's causing some disruption here, and is actually, I can't believe no one's died in this fight, but no one's really been caught out. Both teams just poking and prodding, and Virtus.pro, they're playing this fight beautifully, I would say, because this Exorcism is actually kind of close to running out, and they're pinging Kasani now. They know they could have a real chance in their hands to take this. I feel like Hellraisers need to make themselves invisible right now, but that's not going to happen. No one's sliding on in. They're looking for Funnick. Funnick going to purge away that disrupt fly. Meanwhile, Ricky trying to cause some disruption on the backlines here by jumping Zayats. He's having some fun, trying to play carefully, and is doing a very good job of doing that, and the disruption is enough for Hellraisers to not be baited into a pretty horrible fight.
Yeah, both teams using up their big ultimates though, the Spectre Hunt and the Death Prophet Exorcism, but it looks like VP don't care. They're just gonna go straight into this Roshan pit. Yeah, I feel like Hellraisers have to fight them.
Yeah, I think they are the stronger team without their ultimates up. They are the stronger team, and they certainly think so as well. And RTW, he's going to come out and say hi to Hellraisers. They are not letting them get anywhere near this Roshan's pit. They are keeping them at arm's length. Hellraisers, they really want to come in and stop this from happening. Roshan, but no, that's not the big target right now. It's going to be Pushka who's the big target. He does get down his ultimate just before he goes down. 2 heroes caught inside of it, but they're both going to be absolutely fine. There is a gem, and I mean, Necrophos wants to come in for it, but it's too dangerous. He can't get that close. A buyback comes out from Pushka, wants to be back in this engagement now, and the battle for the gem will end up in the center, being able to run forward to grab it. Meanwhile, Funnick getting in a little bit of trouble right here. Now they jump on top of him, and the big jump in from Resolution will find that kill. A buyback comes out from the Necrophos. Mob DP trying to find the front lines. He's actually got Erexus them up in 6 seconds. They have to be wary of this Virtus.pro, because this could be the big turnaround they're looking for, but still a decent amount of damage coming out from Kasani, and now Spectre ulties again, trying to find the target. Jackson comes out, Kasani yields up, trying to keep herself alive, but is there anything to keep her in this game? The Reaper Surge is trying to find Kasani. It's time, the Spirit Cycle as well, but she's gone. Kasani out of the fight, 110 seconds out of the forward towards Funnick as well. Funnick losing his life. RTW on top of him. Yule's not to buy him much time, really. Funnick's going to come crashing back to the ground, and that is another hero dead. And Nyx, he was actually off defending. Again, not in the fights. And there's the GG's coming out with the Ricky not even committing to the final fight in this game, it feels like here. He's going to BKB up to get up a couple more crews, but that is going to be going to Virtus.pro, and that is going to make it. Guess what, Theban? It's another 2-0 for us.
Alright, Raptor. I'll give some insight there. That Ricky in the last fight